Sorry, we spoiled it. What?
That's fine. Welcome back to Iconic Productions' It Gets Worse. Happy New Year.
Yay! 2020, we roll all 20s.
Critical
Tim.
success
He
year.
doesn't get to.
We are going to pick up right where we left off. But
Whoever that was.
which none of us really remember. It's fortunate that these are recorded. So
It's all in my notes.
I remember it perfectly.
The notes contain all knowledge.
Anyway, before we get started, a couple of announcements. One, the most exciting one, is that we actually have Beth here in person.
She's real, we
So-
promise.
She's not an imaginary friend.
For one day, we will not have to, well, I won't shout at a computer. Shout at a real person.
Nice.
Great. And, yeah. Second announcement, you told me twice and I forgot it, so you do
So,
it.
you guys may see this soon, maybe already. I'm not sure what our screen looks like right now because I'm not watching. I'm here. But I wanted to give a huge shout out and thank you to the beautiful and talented Alice, who did character portraits for all of us, which was lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently she doesn't like to sleep. That's fine. That's a personal choice. She can do that. But anyway, she would love to draw your characters as well. So hit her up. She's at Almo Arts on Twitter or almo.arts on Instagram. Thanks so much.
Like Elmo with a K.
Yes.
This was the
Oh, yeah.
art dump that I didn't say.
Yes.
Oh, did it not go
I
through on your
texted
text?
it to you.
Yeah, I got
You're
a
super
text.
cool.
Oh, jeez.
No, no. They're really pretty.
It's on you now, Josh.
All right. Thank you, Jenny.
Also, Josh is sick,
Yes.
so he's gonna play
Yeah.
deep-throated villains really well
So,
today, you know.
this is going to be
Voice.
exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I will try to
I'll run and grab it.
slurp my tea and blow my nose while not facing the mic. Are we ready?
It's Mary's fault.
It is my fault. I was sick and I gave it to him. I'm so sorry.
I'll take that as a yes.
Yes.
Yay!
Yay!
When last we left our heroes,
Yay!
We're heroes now,
Yay!
Heroes.
Heroes.
the party had successfully navigated their way through a broken teleportation system in their efforts to escape the third watchtower, and arrived back in Onashir in various groups, but all in the attic of some poor elf woman in the slacks. Taliyah.
Rich elf woman.
Taliyah immediately went to, because she lives in the slacks. Taliyah immediately went to visit Kelfir, but along the way twice ended up in the interrogation room of the local watch. She
Being
spoke
in
with...
jail sucks, guys. It does, just really.
You were not in jail.
What are you talking about? Let me tell you about waking up in jail.
He could tell you all about it if he remembered it. She spoke with Sergeant Hud, told him all about the problems with the third watchtower, and about her... Okay, this is confusingly phrased. Problems with the third watchtower, and she told him about
Okay, calm on.
her
calm
father, the elf lady's house, everything you know about the goblins, Cormyr's anti-magic flyers, although you were not able to identify Cormyr as the
Perpetrator?
artist.
Artist.
And Kelfir.
I don't
Uh,
tell
HUD-
him all about Kelfir.
You told him a lot of
I
things.
told him very cagey things.
HUD strongly recommended that Taliyah not cast any magic until the city could be pacified. The next day, Taliyah proceeded to Kelfir's for the, I think this is the third time, received a lesson in pain and responsibility,
She stood up to him, though. It was awesome.
gave Kelfir
Hell
the
yeah.
teleportation rune that she had copied,
That was stupid.
and discovered
That was a
that her
decision.
friends on Happy Squad had successfully returned to Onashir safely.
Safety.
Vera requested a meeting with Sam Volhain, warned his guards about the
Your
danger
face.
to the third watchtower before sneaking
him.
into an alley and throwing rocks at the counselor's windows.
I hate it with all my soul.
She was quickly chased out of the neighborhood.
Your face.
During these encounters, she noticed that something was off about the guards.
In my notes, it says, in parentheses, drugged, inattentive.
Okay.
That's
But
what I wrote.
was unable to identify for certain the nature or cause. Vera also sent a detailed description of the ruins and the teleportation circles underneath the third watchtower to her family, made blood pudding and had it sent to the watchtower,
I keep my promises.
and spread rumors that Sam Volhain abuses poor old women.
He doesn't. That was not a rumor. That was the truth.
Cormyr fixed his armor and produced a sizable stack of flyers suggesting that the reason the city is starving is because the casters in charge of food production aren't doing their job. that the city is in danger from evil magic-wielding goblins.
You did say that. I remember this.
That all of these problems have to do with the new moon that's in the sky, or might have something to do with that, and that magic must be chaperoned and the weave respected. Lyra proselytized and successfully made Illyriel, the name of her goddess, a known name in the Hangers district. Almanya showed the teleportation pylon to her little brother, who was fascinated by it and insisted on studying it. And at the end of, I think that was a couple of days, you all reconvened in the Snowdrop Inn. Samvel Haynes summoned you to his home for discussion.
I hate that guy.
Vera attempted, I wrote the name wrong, attempted to convince Rufus, the abnormally tall halfling, to reveal some things about Samvel Haynes, but he was rather tight-lipped.
He was, little jerk.
Samvel Haynes was thrilled to see you returned, as far as you could tell.
Yeah, well, he's thrilled about everything. I hate him.
But he's like me.
But it's insincere. He's hiding something.
He was
You're sincere.
He was totally
He's
sincere.
he was irritated
Inside check.
that the city failed to notice the third watchtower's beacon, and he was enraptured by Almanya's song that recounted pretty much all of the squad's deeds except for the teleportation circle. I believe you specifically left that part out.
I did, yes.
What story did you tell about you guys actually returning to the city?
Exaggeration.
Yeah,
perhaps?
I talked about us finding pathways through tunnels. And then like venturing out from the tunnels. So like we hit a point in the tunnels where we came up and then we walked the rest of the way, battling and slaying creatures along the way and got back.
Little fishmen throwing spears appeared out of the snow.
After you returned all of your borrowed equipment from Sam Belhain, he made an offer of patronage to you, which had been suggested by Almanya the last time you were here, which you guys all accepted.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't remember if we left the end of the episode at the party, or if you got, there wasn't a party, at the meeting, or you guys
It was at
left.
the meeting. Yeah,
Okay.
it ends with him saying he's going to drop the contract.
Okay, cool. So he is doing that. I am doing that.
Okay, good.
It's been fun.
The notes.
Yeah.
Trust the notes. All right.
So, you all have a week of downtime to level up, and then half of each day you can do whatever else you want.
So I get to pick my bard college.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woo!
So,
Finish my finals.
who wants to go first? For the purposes of the week, you're third level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Treat yourself as at third level.
Yeah. I get so many cool things.
Well, my week's already done because the flyers were my downtime activity.
That was a day.
Oh, it's gonna keep going then.
Just opening up a little paper,
20
press.
gold worth of flyers then.
Oh dear.
At some point,
off the money.
so I ended up with 700 of the party's gold. I don't know whose it belongs to, but only 300 of it is mine. So check your stuff and I'll give you guys the gold.
It's
whoever
mine.
gets it.
I was about to say,
grabbed
it's
mine.
clearly mine. What are you talking about?
I already have mine.
Pretty sure Cora has hers.
I think it is mine.
Almanya has. I think it is yours, actually.
I have
Thanks.
mine, so.
Well, but
How
only
much is it?
300 of it is yours
300
because
is
I had
mine.
400 left over.
Did
after
Lyra
these.
take any of the gold?
I don't think so.
Oh, then
So-
you should take it. Because you don't have any money.
Cora
Give it to
stuffed her
her.
pockets.
Right.
Yeah.
Some already in my stash.
I didn't take any of it. You stuffed your pockets with stolen money.
Obviously. Why would I take it if it's like
So I think
normal
it's the-
money?
You already took
I already
yours?
took my cut. Yep, I marked
I
it.
only
Two of
take dirty money.
Hers and yours.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
I think it is
I
yours.
say I already took my cut.
I will not take
so.
it because it is yours.
So,
Apparently I have a
My little
flaming
rogue
berserker
soul
axe.
really wants it.
What? No.
I'm embracing
It's in my
character.
stuff.
No. I think that was the
that was the
Dragonborn
one
you were
shot.
playing. Or no, that's the one that I was playing. Because
Yeah.
you had the one that had the Gideon hammer.
Or the
I
battle
don't even
kitty,
think
whatever.
this is for that.
bad memories.
Speaking of that,
You wanted to do a library thing.
I did. So I had a whole laundry list that I sent to Josh days ago.
Yeah. I don't
So-
remember any of it, but if you're ready to go.
Okay, yeah, I'll go if
We can go
no one
for
else
it.
wants to.
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
So first thing on my list would be to find Vera, actually,
present.
at home, probably after a particularly trying day with my master. And
My notes on
hopefully
him are,
she's baking cookies or something nice.
Undoubtedly.
my notes on him are master, asshole, kill him.
Yep. That's good.
Yes.
That's par for the course.
You are able, using your family connections, to have stuff to bake with.
That is true.
What are you? I think you're gonna say you have the means to kill him. Congratulations.
Yes, exactly.
People who walk past your house cast dirty looks at it.
You want to kill me.
And at some point during the week, somebody throws a rock through your window.
Charming.
It wasn't me, I swear.
Sure it
You
was.
put up a poster on your wall, though.
So,
Don't worry, I have a thought about how to deal with that.
so I would show up at your door, check your door for traps, because I have trust issues now.
That
Roll an investigation check.
actually was a good idea.
Natural 20.
Wow.
I do trap them, just not violent trap them.
Yeah, it's you said it was a sound.
It's a bell.
It's a
Okay.
bell.
Wire attached to a bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
It goes to my room. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, so that was a natural 20.
There's a bell.
Okay, sweet. So does it look like I'm going to get, like, electrocuted or lightning? Okay, sweet. Bells are normal. I knock on the door.
Roll a constant.
It's a magic bell. I open the door, and I've got, like, sort of a, like, you can smell the baking, but all my windows are shut.
Oh,
So you can only smell it when you open the door. It's more bready, though. It's biscuits.
nice. Okay. Good afternoon, Mrs. Baylor. How are you?
Hello, dearie. Come on in.
Thank you.
Step aside, and I go, come on in. Step aside, open the door.
Okay.
You're very big.
Oh, I see. You were looking up at me, not the bell. Okay.
The bell's on the floor, subtly.
So I will just go in and I probably look a little bit like a disaster. I don't know exactly what I've been through today, but it hasn't been pretty.
You look like you need a biscuit. Just another 2 minutes, and they'll
Okay.
be perfect and golden brown, and I might be able to rustle up some butter. That
butter?
was-
Really?
Yes.
Wow, we haven't seen butter in our house for ages. That's amazing.
Right. Yes.
Delightful. So actually, Mrs. Mayweather, I was hoping to talk to you. I feel like some things happened, and perhaps I should have talked to you about this sooner. But do you have some time?
Yes. Just
I don't want you to burn your biscuits.
Just 2 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes. Have a seat. Clean yourself up. Got lovely.
Sure.
I have those flowery wash basins.
Sweet.
And
Awesome.
I go and I get my biscuits out of the oven.
Okay, and I'll be cleaned up. So some things happened
You're going to have to be a little bit
in
more
the
specific.
tower with the goblins
Going
that
to
we
have
were
to
talking
be a
to.
little bit more specific.
You can't prove anything.
A great number of things happened with those goblins.
You told me we weren't going to harm them.
It's because that is sincerely what I believed at the time.
And then, well, we killed them, didn't we?
Not we.
Well, you did.
I
And
did. Because they
Cormyr.
were a danger to us.
I can understand how it would have looked that way. And obviously they were a danger to us, but I believe that they were being controlled beyond their will.
Well, I agree with you, but I certainly didn't know that at the time.
Of course. So I just guess I wanted to clear the air a little bit and say that, well, I didn't approve,
I think I noticed that, dear.
and I fear I've been a little cold towards you since then, and I'm sorry if I've offended you in any way or hurt your feelings, but I've had to have some time to think about it, and I talk to Lyra about these sorts of things from time to time as well, and my mother.
Two very sensible women.
Yes, indeed. But I wondered if perhaps if you knew some context about why this was such a problem for me, that you might understand things better.
By all means. It's just one question before you tell me. You do know why I did it?
Not exactly. I'm still a little hazy on that, honestly.
I didn't do it for fun.
No.
I didn't do it to break a promise. I did it to protect us with the information that I had.
Right. Your information was, of course, wrong.
It was incomplete.
But you couldn't have known that, and I should have been...
So why regret it?
Because it was needless, and it was...
It was, but
painful.
the
And
information was incomplete at the time. It cannot be undone.
it made me doubt. In fact, a few things of late have made me doubt how we would deal with one another in this group. Should someone behave in a way... It's difficult for me to explain to you, Mrs. Mayweather, but these creatures were being controlled by some other force.
Yes, their
And
king that they were trying to speak of, but could not.
I recognize that type of magic.
From where?
From... It's difficult for me to speak of it. I have had such types of magic. I've had contact with it. Perhaps. It has affected me in similar ways.
Practiced on you?
I can't say with any certainty exactly, but things have happened, and I am no longer able to trust the evidence of my senses when I am in certain places. And I wondered, it struck fear into me at the moment that you killed that goblin who was acting outside of her own volition, and I wondered, would you do the same for me if I were in the same situation?
I had incomplete information then, but
And
now
you-
you've given me more complete. So no.
That is comforting. It's also comforting that I'm still standing here at this moment in time.
I'm glad that you told me the truth.
I'm going to leave something with you, and
Really?
I'm not certain how much I can help you with it, but I will tell you that it is something that I believe you have the intellect to decipher on your own. And I take out my personal journal, the one that I keep all of my notes in that are encoded, and I put it into Vera's hands.
Well, I never claimed to be the brainy sort, but I start flipping through it. Is it in code?
It is in
presumably?
code.
Looks like a fun little challenge, little Sudoku.
Perhaps your boys could help you with it, or you can do it
well,
yourself.
They're not the sharpest
Of course.
nails in the toolbox, perhaps. But
I'm going
See?
to take small steps because I'm not an idiot. And I will leave it with you as it is for now and see what happens down the road. But perhaps I may be able to assist later.
Thank you for your trust.
Absolutely, I have to have someone I can trust.
Please believe
Mrs.
me
Mayweather.
that you can.
Oddly enough, I believe that. I think that you and I may have differing views on morality.
Do what is necessary.
That sentiment strikes terror into my heart sometimes.
Cruelty and pain are not necessary.
But aren't they? For certain things.
Not all the time.
Do you
They're
still...
not necessary for you.
No,
Or for any
not...
of our little band.
How do you think power is achieved? Mrs. Mayweather, you spoke to me once of power.
Mutual benefit.
Mutual
pain.
benefit.
Not degradation.
You are very insightful. It's refreshing.
Mutual benefit.
There is much benefit in the relationship which I currently pursue. For me as well.
Is it worth it?
Not yet. But I think in time it may be.
Tread carefully, then.
I will. You have taught me much, in fact. I thought of you the other day. And it helped me through a difficult situation. So thank you for that. And also, I just would like to say that I was taken into the city watch office twice in the same night.
Silly fools.
Because I was looking for all of you, and I was, slightly hurt that no one else was looking for each other. But I'm sure you all had your reasons.
Several of us came through together. We were able to reason through that many of us were here.
Yes, you are all very clever. I apparently was not functioning at my peak capacity that day.
You were merely affectionate. We appreciate it.
It is a weakness that I have been told I must overcome. But it is a weakness that I shall choose to hold on to for a while longer.
As long as it's a choice.
Indeed. I'm very fond of you.
I'm fond of you too, dearie.
Thank you, Mrs. Mayweather. I appreciate it.
And I try and reach up because she's very tall and do like the little chin chuck.
I'll bend down towards you.
Punches you in the face.
I do not.
All right.
Would you like some of these biscuits to wrap up and take home?
Oh, I have a little brother who would think that you were a goddess.
And I take one of those like little checkered handkerchief napkin things, and I smother them in butter, and I put like a big pile of them in there, and I tie it up.
Awesome, and I will hide it in my pack so that I don't get pickpocketed on the way.
And if you see a little dragonborn squirt out there, tell him to come in, won't you?
Not
You can
Cormyr?
probably smell this. Cormyr, yes.
Oh, I thought he was a tiefling fellow.
Is
Is he tiefling?
too?
Never mind, he's a tiefling.
Just go with it.
He's a child.
She said dragonborn, so.
I said tiefling. My memory's going. I'm very old. A little tiefling fellow out there.
Okay,
I can probably smell my cooking through the windows, and
I'll send
he
him in.
deserves a treat.
Do I see said little tiefling boy when I exit the house?
He is right at the door.
I'll turn to him.
Just standing there looking up at you.
I'm getting fond of this little sucker.
I pull out, because I don't want to make him a target for stupid people. I'll pull out
Do that, Dory.
a silver
Aw.
and put it in his hand.
Wow, we're downstepping from just handing out gold? What is this place?
He takes the silver and puts it away.
She says to go in, dearie.
He just bolts right past you.
Okay.
Cute. I love him.
And then I will, let's see. If other people want to jump in, I can do it both ways.
Taliyah's
I don't
making
care.
I give him a... I'm thinking of like an English muffin type of biscuit.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you get butter on my carpets... I just look at him.
Look at what.
He's already, just one fist has already just like grabbed the thing and he kind of carefully moves over to a table.
Take it outside.
Outside?
Yes.
Okay, so he'll just go outside then. Shovel it into his face. Lyra.
I would like to ask assistance proselyting about Illyrio.
Excellent. I would be delighted to join you. In fact, you were my next stop.
On the tour of the party.
Visit with all everyone.
So I would show up at your door.
Okay, so
And-
you guys are going to go proselytize?
Because I want to hear all about everything.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much I know, honestly. Is it just from the text? Yeah.
So I have learned the most delightful new knowledge. If I could see that page that the councilman gave you.
Of course.
And I will take 10 minutes to ritually cast Comprehend Languages upon said piece of parchment.
Ooh, nice.
You do that.
Okay.
Give me a
Sure.
hot second.
And in the meantime, I will ask you if there is a symbol of Illyrial or some form of marking that is necessary.
Yes, there is. Actually, the symbol kind of doesn't make sense without the story. Should I like?
Well, go ahead and tell her what the symbol looks like while I find it.
Or you can draw it on the back of my sheet
it's a
here.
little morbid.
Oh.
Because I'm actually gnome and in a different persona. I tried to break it off.
I knew it. She couldn't stop herself.
It's not gonna work. So it's like, okay, can't go full like opposite gnome. Okay, so it's a picture of a human heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Human heart pierced by a dagger. Is that? I don't even remember what I sent you. Pierced
no,
by.
I think that's correct.
Yeah, pierced by a dagger, and it's a symbol representing a few things. So first of all, what really?
Yeah, anatomically correct heart pierced with a dagger.
Yes. So.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Gnome.
I know. I can't get rid of her.
I may recant. I may leave this cult.
No, let me explain. It's
What makes you think?
I don't deny it. So to Illyrial, she's the goddess of hope and sacrifice.
It is an odd symbol.
It is an odd symbol, but so I'm not sure how much we know about medicine in this life, but the heart is the source of life.
Of course.
Okay, and we are.
They were aware.
Okay. I suppose all the blood.
I'm actually not an
factors
idiot.
there. Not an idiot.
She's pretty smart.
I can't say this here for me. But, so the heart is the source of life, and Illyrial, through sacrificing her life, stopped a great evil.
Okay, now I begin to see where the hope comes from.
Yes.
And indeed, the story that you read is of the war among the gods.
Okay.
And Illyrial, there was an evil god who could not be killed. I fixed it. War among the gods. There was a dark god who could not be killed until Illyrial bound their lives together and then essentially had herself sacrificed, killing both her and the dark god.
And is the dark god named?
It is not.
I want to hear that story so I can write a song about it.
Yeah.
We'll get to our library days.
Yeah, library days.
Okay.
By the way, I totally stole that from the book.
Nice.
It's totally awesome.
Don't worry, I stole my entire storyline from a musical.
So
Very guard.
Appropriate.
Not even kidding.
So what must we do then?
Well, to increase power in Illyrial, we have to increase the number of believers, those who know of her. So I've been focusing on just spreading the word, and I believe I can broker some kind of arrangement to set up a more permanent establishment with, what's his name?
Sambelhain.
Sambelhain.
Yes, with Lord Sambelhain.
Which I would like to have a meeting with too. Yes, to establish some kind of permanent practice.
We could make flyers. Someone has been spreading flyers all around our district.
Yeah, what's that all about?
I don't know, but they're talking
around
about magic.
all the
I really
districts.
feel like I have a target on my back now.
He's got 9 days.
Oh, Jesus
Well,
Christ.
if
Yeah,
it's
I'm
against
working on
blood
slogans.
magic,
Oh,
then
dear.
I am in full support.
Well, it seems to be against all manners of magic, which struggle. What does Illyrial think of the arcane?
Well, Illyrial uses the arcane for life, for healing. That's where I get my healing ability.
But healing magic is not arcane in nature.
Oh, isn't it? I don't know.
Sorry, that was Jenny speaking, but also Taliyah would know this stuff.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
there is no arcane healing magic.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
divine.
Oh,
It's
divine.
Even when wizards use it though and learn
Wizards can't learn
and
healing
learn
spells.
cure, they can't.
Well, yeah.
No.
I've never played with magic,
They
sorry
can
guys.
use magic. They can use a feat. To get
You were
it.
an Eldritch Knight.
Well, you could do
Yeah,
like a magic
bit.
initiative,
Like
and then you get
Prestige where you die.
cleric stuff, but it's still divine. It's not arcane. Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure how
So
that works.
the arcane is a learned. It's a learned manipulation of the weave that fluctuates through all of reality. Some wizards can bend reality to suit their will. Not that I know anything about those type of wizards.
You do know that Kelfir hates the term the weave. Drives him up a wall.
But I read it somewhere, and I'm really excited about it now.
Yeah, no, he starts anytime you accidentally call it the weave, he starts grumbling about just archaic, primitive magic.
Okay.
Only idiots and believers use the term anymore.
Okay.
It just drives
Can
him
we
up. a
please kill him?
So Jenny had a thought. I'll tell you about it later.
Can we pretty with a cherry on top kill him? I mean, no.
Because Jenny was driving down the road the other day, and she had this light bulb moment, and I was like, "Oh shoot!" But Taliyah would never think of that. So,
Deepest, darkest thoughts.
Murder.
Well, honestly, that's why I'm so happy that you are so interested. You are very knowledgeable in many areas that I just am not. And so I would love your help in understanding this and
absolutely.
gaining power through this, yes.
And perhaps, Tobias taught me good things about, like, when you're trying to have people listen to you and maybe be convinced by what you're saying. Certain tricks of making eye contact and keeping it for a while and smiling a lot and looking nice. Different things, so maybe I could help you that way too. I would love to help you.
Oh, I'm so
in
delighted.
any way I can, because so you know my mother.
Yes.
I adore my mother. But I can't escape the feeling that she's somewhat disappointed in me, and I thought at first, a while ago, when I first started learning, and I was very young when I first started learning from my master, but I thought that she was proud of me. And she thought it was going to be a good thing, but something changed. I think I know a little bit of what it is, but she's not anymore, and I feel like maybe she's a little bit disappointed, or worried, maybe. Mothers do that, don't they?
Indeed they do.
So I would like to learn more from you as well, and perhaps find a way of utilizing some of your abilities and your magics as well. And I feel like that would make my mother happier, because she wants me to heal and to help, and that's obviously what I wish to do, but it's not the type of training that I am getting right now from my master, and he knows best, obviously, so he's teaching me the things that I need to know. But I would like to learn from you as well.
I'm very happy to hear that. Yes, I would love to spend time teaching you what I know of Illyrial, and perhaps together we can build on this faith.
Hope is something that we need in these times.
Yes, indeed. And I believe that the city is ready for a message.
The thing that does trouble me slightly, though, is you've mentioned the connection with blood. And that is also something that the other side is doing, too.
Yes, and I wish I understood more of what they're doing and how it gives them power. I am offended that they would take something as sacred as blood, because it is life, and they're pretty much disgracing everything that Illyrial stands for. So, yes, if there's anything we can discover about this together.
I mean, not to sound racist or anything, but Almanya's a dragonborn. And her sister wanted to be a priestess, so she might know stuff, so we could talk to Almanya.
That is a great idea. Oh no.
You're in for it now,
We're
Mary.
coming.
We're having some theological
Now
debate
I don't have to
here.
worry about figuring out how to get you all back together at the end of the week.
Yeah, we're just gonna
Theological debate time, everybody.
Oh, yes.
Bring it.
So, and I told Almanya that maybe we could go to the library together sometime. I don't know if you like to go to the library or not, but I love the library. It's my favorite place outside of my mother's my mother's silver, but
Yes, we can meet a lot of people who are interested in the ancient.
they don't really let you talk in the library very much. So the Tatha throws things at you if they think you're being too loud.
Be prepared to dodge.
Bring your weapons.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Okay, so we'll go to Almanya's then.
All right.
Okay.
Coming your way.
You set off for Almanya's. Meanwhile, Cormyr.
What's up, buddy?
What's up to?
Hit us with
Only a
them
season
slogans.
for today.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
I definitely remember what that means. Oh, okay.
Oh dear.
Sup, bruh?
Yes!
As you're walking down the streets
Oh, shit.
and
I'm
the
gonna fight.
alleys,
in a gym bro fight.
nailing your posters to walls and doorways, other signs that you've put up.
Take my protein.
Can we get a taste of what they sound like so far?
Better tragic than magic.
Okay, can that be the name of the episode? Like,
Better
please?
tragic than.
Please?
Sorry, I'm right.
That's next week's.
I'm putting it in
Her
big.
virtue
That
is
is-
worth more than his charm.
Oh, better. Trash.
They go downhill from there.
Awesome. All right.
Better tragic than magic, bro.
You were walking to
I have to
the
add the bra.
We're being that later.
entrance to an alleyway, and there's just kind of a bundle of filth on the ground. But as you walk towards it, it starts moving, and you can see this person who just every inch of skin is covered. I mean, it's cold, and they just kind of reach out a cloth wrapped hand to you. Money for food, sir.
How far back in the alley is this?
This is like right at the entrance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just gonna
He's also apparently not an idiot.
look around real quick. Just be wary of an ambush. And drop 2 silver.
As you go and as you kind of drop it into his hand, he lashes out and just grabs on to your wrist and is going to try to bite you.
Oh, wonderful.
As if you aren't diseased enough.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
not anymore.
You're not?
Wait,
he was cured.
has he been cured?
But
He
apparently
hasn't
Yes.
disease is
cured.
going to be the thing.
He has been cured.
Now you're just gonna get like rabies.
It's okay, she has a potion that cures stuff.
Cures
I'm
rabies?
really trying to save
I have
that though
muscle
for a dire
restoration now.
situation because it's a really good potion.
Okay. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh no.
Oh jeez.
Roll for chump
Bruh.
damage.
Okay.
There it is. Okay. I'm gonna assume that a 9 does not hit your armor class.
No.
Okay. You manage to snatch your hand back, and the coins fall into the street. What's your initiative?
19.
Yeah. Okay. You go first.
So it's just a person covered in rags, basically.
So their face was hooded, but as they look up towards you, the cloth completely covers their face and skin as well.
No eyes? I'm not here.
I will disengage, take a few steps back. No harm, no foul. It's only a few coins.
Turn?
Yeah.
Okay. How far back did you back up?
Yeah, just back up and just keep
Um,
walking off.
The form kind of stands up and it's hunched over. It goes, "Yes, but I'm hungry." And he comes after you.
Dear
You
Lord,
make an attack.
what the You're gonna get eaten by a guy.
14.
Oh, no,
Does
I'd
not
be
hit.
so happy
Okay.
about this.
Can I actually get your armor class? Actually, can we do that real quick? I meant to do this at the beginning. I need passive perception, armor class, and max hit points from everybody but Taliyah, Almanya, and, well, so just for Cormyr and Vera, because I already did the others. Sorry. So Cormyr, passive perception,
11.
armor class,
17 right now.
max HP.
45.
Man, I suck.
That's
Hey, Vera?
double.
Passive perception, 16.
It's almost double mine.
Armor class
13.
and max HP.
20.
20.
I'm gonna
20,
die.
22, 24, 25, 45. All right.
D10s, baby. They're coming in hot.
Hell yeah.
I actually did roll for it and I got better than
Okay.
I know I don't roll for
As
them anymore.
this,
I've been bitten really badly.
it runs up and grabs and tries to bite at you,
Averageness.
and you can see the wrappings open up whatever this thing is, it's not human. It's got these jagged, broken, sharp
Some
teeth.
mummy, maybe?
It is your turn.
So it's running up in melee range of me again.
Yeah, it's right on you again. It just tried to bite you.
And this is just a calm thoroughfare, no one else really around.
There's really, it's a fairly empty street.
How empty has it been while I've been walking around posting flyers?
About this empty. It's there's nothing unusual about how few people are in the streets.
So unsheath hammer and shield.
Okay.
Well, it's a fight you want, brother. It's a fight you'll get.
Bruh.
Take a swing.
Okay, roll an attack.
15.
Yeah.
17.
You take the hammer and slam it down on his shoulder. Go ahead and roll damage.
I gotta remember what dice look like now.
Brutal. More hammer is dang brutal.
Oh, no, it's really not.
Okay, never mind.
5 points of damage.
5 points of damage? Okay. The clothing gets ripped away along with several layers of just rotten-looking flesh that just kind of get scraped off. And he's gonna try to bite you again.
Let me just work on that. With all my fire.
It stumbles back, and before you can kind of pull it back for another swing, it lunges forward and tries to bite your neck. 21.
Ouch.
That hits.
Okay. So it runs forward, starts biting at you. It manages to sink a couple teeth into your neck, and I need you to make a...
If you say a Constitution saving throw, I'm going to throw something at you.
A Constitution saving throw.
Of course it's a con saving throw.
comes.
It's always a con saving throw.
Oh, is he
Why is it
cursed?
Oh no.
That
Are
hurts.
an evil person.
Total?
12.
Oh, God.
12? Okay. Something seeps into your neck,
Would be the first time.
and you feel your muscles start to lock up before you manage to break its grasp and shake it off.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a low DC. It is now your turn. Oh, I'm sorry, you took damage, though.
Or did I?
He didn't. He's so awesome. He doesn't take damage.
Yeah, he's just...
The
You
coolness
take
of his summer persona is just
8 points of
He just
piercing
flexes
damage.
and that
Too
shit
cool for
rolls
damage.
right off.
yeah, flex and goes.
At which point,
Too swole.
another piece of just kind of that sack of heap that was at the entrance to
Okay,
the
that's
alley
going
kind of
to
starts
block.
to shift, and you hear, blood. I can smell it. And another one of those forms gets up. It is now your turn. It's not on you yet. It's still at the mouth of the alley.
Run like the wind.
Well, it's funny you mentioned it. So can I. So I'm gonna try and kick him prone once engaging me.
That's actually just a raw thing. I think it's...
Judo take
I forget how it works.
No,
Isn't it
it's
just
not.
an attack roll? Because you can
I thought it
replace an
was.
attack roll with an attempt to narc a target prone.
Right, that's...
Yeah.
I'm trying to... Melee attack, shove... Come on.
It's a shove.
I'm trying to think of now, like, I have a character who's just a total dude bro in one of my novels, and I'm now trying to remember all of the weird things I've made him say. Because this has worked so
Actions.
well. It works
Too
so
swole
well.
to roll, really.
Too
Yeah,
swole to
that's
roll.
Not just spell dash,
The
disengage,
character's
dodge,
nickname
help,
is
hide, ready.
Snapback
Search,
because he
use
always
an
wears a
object.
snapback hat. So that's what just everybody calls him. So I'm just gonna look at all my snapback quotes.
He needs to die.
It's amazing.
Okay. I don't care. We're just going to roll contested athletics.
Okay.
Take down this
Because I
mother.
cannot find the rule.
It's athletics. 22.
Rolled a natural 20 for a
Plus.
total
Minus.
of 20.
Aha.
So you managed to kick him down. He's now
Yeah.
prone at your feet.
So I'm going to
the
leave.
Sensible
I'm
man.
gonna throw the little flyer at him. And then run away. I'm gonna make for a thoroughfare with people in it, preferably guards.
So it's... The streets are generally empty this time of year anyway. People are not going to market because there's nothing to buy. People aren't hanging out because the streets are dangerous. City's fairly empty.
Where am I in the city? In relation to the Snowdrop Inn, because that's about my only point of reference at this point.
Which is in the cataract.
Let me find my city map
None
here.
of us can see.
Okay.
You can still see.
Go ahead and
Badly.
roll me just a D4.
Oh, those are good. 1.
You are in the slacks.
Hey!
My turf.
So you go sprinting down the street. As you come to kind of the edge of the territory, there is a large gate, and there are 2 guards standing there. And you can hear these creatures.
Like the gate to an estate?
No, the gate to the Plaza district.
Okay.
The Slacks is a gated community because that is shocking to me.
Or is
Or
the
is it
plaza
the plaza
gated
district?
Yeah, the Plaza is the gated
Okay.
You're on the right side of it.
I was about to say.
We have to go up
Yeah,
and say
so-
who we're gonna go
so
meet, why we're
essentially,
there.
Having been around the city before, how did the guards at the gated plaza's community?
So if this is your city,
Show it to the people at home.
well, let me check. Okay, good. No sensitive information.
Quick, we can pause it at home.
So if you're running through the slacks, I don't know if you can see, but several of these districts have walls from just the various stages of expansion. So you're running kind of down one of these streets towards one of those gates, and there are 2 guards. 2
What's
city
the
watch at the
guards'
gate.
reputation around the gated district? Are they dicks?
Roll a history check.
I know how to do that.
Can you just insight check them from here?
14.
14. Don't really have a reputation.
Okay.
They do their job.
They're city watch.
I run up to them and run the other way. Hey, boys, what's up? Good day for a jog.
As you
Yep, gotta keep going.
as you start to approach, they see you, and you see kind of their stance straighten as they watch you run up. Sorry, in my head is playing the Monty Python thing where Lancelot is like, eternally sprinting and suddenly is there.
Yes.
Just like, and you hit them, and then you said you just continue on through the gate. Or
Wait, are they leveling their weapons behind me?
No,
Because you got to that part and then you back.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
They as you got closer, they were looking at you, and then they saw what was chasing you, and they both kind of they lower their spears and they're ready, not at you.
Oh, well then I'm gonna turn around right next to him. I'm not gonna run past him like
Okay.
Monty Python.
Just stab them both.
Good luck dealing with that.
What are those?
Don't know. Magic's involved. Ready and attack for first one that gets in range.
Okay, roll a persuasion check.
I thought we were supposed to be friends, man.
21.
21.
We're the
Okay.
bestest of friends.
Yeah,
Contested
they
friends.
both stand there. Both of
He's
the
gonna get me
creatures. One of them's gonna launch itself
won't let
at
him,
you,
don't worry.
and you said you're holding an attack.
Yeah.
Okay, so you both attack each other as it leaps at you.
Villagers don't burn me. I asked.
14.
14. Okay. We'll call this the wounded one. It leaps in the air. Go ahead and roll your damage. Leaps in the air towards you, fangs and claws out.
And I hit it for 8 points.
That's how many hit points it had left.
Obliterated.
Yay!
And you just cut it in half in air, and the 2 pieces hit the ground behind you guys.
Totaled that mummy.
The other one's...
I'm so swole I slice stuff with a warhammer.
So swole.
Oh, you're using a warhammer.
The goal gets swole.
Okay, yes. It's not terribly well
Bladed weapon.
compacted, so it doesn't slice in half, but it definitely comes into 2 pieces. The other one's jumping at the
It's more of
guard.
a wedge warhammer.
The goal gets
And
swole.
kind of slashes at his armor, but can't pierce it, and they're both going to attack it.
God.
Yeah. Oops.
Be useful, guards, please.
I know.
And they managed to just pin this one to the ground. In the scuffle, their wrappings have come unwrapped, and you recognize these are ghouls.
Yeah.
But it's throwing you off because you've never heard a ghoul speak before.
Huh.
I'm a dirty.
Jolly good show, brothers.
You
Can't
British
student
now.
a flyer.
You're handing him a flyer?
Sure, why not? And then leaving.
Pink letters, better
Okay,
magic than
one of them
magic.
just kind of takes it, sets it down, right, and they start cleaning up the bodies. As you walk down the street, you're like 200 yards away when suddenly you hear, "Wait, these were you? Damn it!" They now have a face to put to the flyers, though.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Do they?
that's good.
Worth it.
Do they, though? Less than 6 seconds of combat and leave.
Why
They were
that's
under
an
a lot of
intense
stress.
So get people's memories over.
So you guys were headed to Almanya.
Yes.
May I do a thing?
Yes.
And just to clarify one thing, if you remember from my original Sen backstory-ish, we're kind of Al Capone during the Great Depression, which means our territory in the Slacks, we're running the soup kitchens.
Yep.
Etc.
Yep.
Just clarify.
You've heard rumors about that before.
Okay, I have it in my original notes.
Yeah, you've heard rumors that the Slacks is better at putting down ghouls than most of the other districts, better than the City Watch. And
you did write Grace as a mob boss.
During this time, there is a rumor going around that they are surviving this better than most of the other districts, other than the council and lakeside districts.
Because I would encourage, if it's not going well, I would be busting my sons.
Oh yeah, no, they're running it as well as they can.
Get their popularity back.
They are. Your family is very popular in the district. They are running out of resources.
Right. So I would sit down and have a chat. We don't need to RP this with boys.
Sure.
And talk about how best to use the fact that we now have, if it's a little inconsistent, transportation to outside areas, outside of the city, is like, can we start shipping it? If wood is this valuable and food is this valuable, can we go to that little cliffside where the fish creature is, etc., and get supplies back in and out of the city?
Oh, you mean as a smuggling
Oh, yeah.
thing. Oh, okay. Not as a solution for, like, the city, but more as a, hey, you know.
But also as a by extension, solution for the city. Like, we now have a route to resources that other people do not have.
To some extent, yeah.
Yes. And start to talk about, okay, can we start funneling in food supplies, funneling in stuff that people need, etc.
They will look into it. They are pretty preoccupied. Ghouls, it's in my lap. Ghouls in particular are becoming a serious problem. And food supplies are disappearing from what should be secret storehouses. They're not sure how people are finding them, but
your institution is falling apart.
I know! It's my stupid son's fault.
Can't trust anyone.
Yeah, it's definitely your son's fault that the city is starving. They definitely come away from this conversation feeling like that.
Well, it's their fault that they're not keeping a more secure, tight lid on where our storehouses are. That's Junior.
Junior is not looking good. He's got dark circles under his eyes, and his hair, which is usually perfect, just immaculate, is must.
Be like, Carolyn looking after you all right?
Yeah, Ma, it's just got a lot going on.
I know why. Do a little pet his little cheek.
You do that. He brightens for a bit and he says, actually, and he pulls out just kind of a small pouch. He says, found some dazzled things. And, look, you wouldn't let us give you more security while you're out with those
friends.
Idiots that you're running with, but figured you could use these.
I wholeheartedly endorse this. Everything.
Thank you.
It is, you have 3 doses of poison with which to coat daggers or bolts.
That's my Gideon.
Yeah.
He would have that in an attic somewhere.
In my mind, you still just, like, murdered your husband, like, for the insurance purposes.
So he sent me this text out of, like, nowhere that was... It was so confusing. Because my brain was not in that space. I just hear the name Gideon. I'm like, what? And I was like, I have a husband, right? Okay. I get a little nostalgic. Oh, Gideon was the best at poisons.
Because that's what we all say about our beloved.
Yeah. Yep. Say it all the time.
He's a clever man.
All right.
I was the best at getting people to eat them, though.
Damn.
Oh shit! Am I gonna give those biscuits to my little brother?
I don't know anything.
Almanya.
Gideon's been dead a while.
Yeah.
What have you been doing this time? At some point, those two are going to show up and
Right.
harass you. But
As usual. I'm gonna go pick up my loot from the artisan who was embossing it. I think was how it was gonna go. Is there
Yes.
anything that does to it other than make it look super pretty?
no, it just looks
Okay.
awesome.
Fabulous.
I'll give you a +2 to any performance check you make using that instrument.
Nice. I'll take it. Okay, I'm going to spend most of the week. Honestly.
Because it's incredible work.
Yes.
You have never seen anything like this.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend like the next 5 hours, like as soon as I get home, just walking around my house, playing songs, like so excited about everything, annoying my siblings to heck.
Even Endon is avoiding you.
I know. I know. I'm just like, I love
Especially
it.
Endon is avoiding.
Kvisa's like, God damn it. Like, I'm trying to sword fight. And I'm like, I don't care. Walking around. Because this is literally what I did today with my siblings. I had my guitar and I was walking around my basement playing guitar. And my sisters were like, great, Mary. That's awesome.
Please stop.
Yeah. I'm sure you're having a great time, but we're doing other things now.
All right.
Anyway, so I'm going to do that. I'm also going to spend time with Endon and see kind of what he's figured out about the pillar. Because I gave it to him, and I've been hauling it back and forth from the library with him whenever he wants to go to the library to research it. I'm always dragging it with me. So I'm going to be chatting with him about that. And mentioning to my brother Kavisa that Taliyah has a sister who's looking to be trained in sword fighting. Because Kavisa is a swordsman. And I wanted to know if he would be interested in taking on someone to teach them even kind of the basics of sword fighting and weaponry.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So, sorry, which sibling?
Kavisa, the middle one, the blue? Silver. I think he's silver. And he's my partner in crime for all of our crazy childhood stuff, but he's very talented with the blade.
Okay. Sword fighting. Okay. So you want to research, you and Endon are going to research the portal symbols.
Mm-hmm.
Any particular direction or just mostly trying to identify them?
Mostly trying to identify them and kind of like how they work exactly and how and what could have made it possible to portal into the city. Because we know that teleportation is a thing, but not in a big city like this, and there should be wards. Yep. So I'm very curious as to how, and I want Endon, my brilliant little brother, to help me figure out what's going on.
You got it.
So.
Okay. You guys were also going to do some research. What specifically are you researching? We can just lump all the research together.
Research.
So I had some personal things I wished to research.
Okay.
But also wanted to, oddly enough, teleportation was one of the things I wanted to research as well. But we were also going to research, like, on any sort of connections to the Dragonborn blood magic and, like, what makes it tick, sort of.
Yes, I'd like to know about the blood magic, all that I can.
All right.
And any ancient gods.
But Taliyah personally had some research to do about Dry Basso, about political structures within the city, because she realizes maybe she doesn't know as much about politics as she thought she did. And also anything so the librarian and I have an interesting relationship because they've known me since
actually at this point they probably owe her money. The free
because they've been like I've been coming to the library ever since I was a little girl.
Sure.
So the Tatha knows me very well.
Yep.
And I get access to, stuff that normally doesn't get out, right?
Okay.
Smut.
No, not smut.
You're a wizard in the library. I got distracted.
Summer, not spring.
So anything that they might have available on differing arcane schools of thought, even just not necessarily magical theory, but even just like rumors and lore and BS and scuttlebutt and whatever.
Just about schools of magic?
About schools of magic in particular.
And anything more specific into schools of magic?
Like which ones are the least feared and hated by the
I see.
populace versus which ones are the worst.
Okay.
And if there's any other like super powerful wizards anywhere that I can find any trace of in books.
Okay.
Maybe ones that lived in the elven colonies, perhaps.
That's going to be your week.
Yeah. No, I'm happy for that to be my week.
Okay.
The only other thing I would do is try to... I was going to ask Helfir how to fix the Ray of Frost thing since... Bless you.
Goes away after 24 hours.
Okay, sweet.
So
it's all good. So I didn't have to confess to him that I screwed up.
Awesome. Oh, no, you did. And he told you that it would go away when it went away. You woke up the next morning and it was gone.
Okay.
He's big on learning for yourself.
Yeah, sure. Can I like chat him up a little bit and be extra nice and extra sweet and beg that maybe someday I might get a peek at some of those other scrolls that he has around, that maybe I could get an extra spell or two and I'll pay for all my own ink and paper and stuff?
Roll a persuasion check.
With advantage.
Ooh, that's not bad. Persuasion is actually a 22.
22. He does not have anything ready for you.
Okay.
But he will before he leaves.
Where's he going?
That's all he says.
When is he leaving?
He didn't say.
Do you need somebody to house sit for you while you're gone?
Take care of your goldfish.
Feed the cat.
Or you're imprisoned Spire Elemental. You know, it's whatever.
Pet mind flare.
The house will be sealed. And he highly recommends that you not try to get in.
Damn.
Okay. Where? Do you need someone to go with you or help you or?
He has that taken care of.
Okay. Weird. Right. Has he ever left before? Because I've known him for a while.
Yeah,
since I was a kid.
Yeah, he used to. Well, yeah, he occasionally goes on very short trips. Usually, it's just to another part of the city.
Oh, okay.
That he doesn't want to have to walk to and from repeatedly. So he'll just go and stay there for several days while he does his work. Very rarely has he ever left the city.
Okay.
And he didn't say what he was doing.
Right, and I know not to push when he is not being forthcoming.
Which is always.
Actually, I did have one more quick thing. Is I would like to chat with Mother about if there's any coffee
There's
substitute.
no substitute for coffee. There are various herbal stimulants, but it's still basically just various strengths of tea.
Okay.
Just get some really strong tea.
Actually, I have an idea.
Okay.
I'm heroin.
The best.
No, you
On
want to
just
stimulate.
one of my days, I would go to the Snowdrop. Because I know my friend Lori Reyna.
Hey!
Lori Reyna! Who's
She's the
very absent-minded.
Of
I
the
actually
Snowdrop.
wrote down her full
She
name
got any
too.
drugs?
Yeah.
Oh, Lori Reyna, Neri Rona?
Yeah.
So
Lori
I would
Reyna,
go.
Rona.
I would go to Lori Reyna, and I would say, Lori Reyna, I have a question for you. It's very important, and I need Lori Reyna. I need.
Yes.
Can I talk to you for a second, please?
Yeah?
Okay. So I know that sometimes you forget things, right?
I'm sorry, what?
I know that sometimes you forget things
She's
because
gotta be on
you're
something.
thinking about other things that are clearly more important.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't know.
Okay. But, dearest, could I have a peek back in your storeroom? Is there a possibility you might have some coffee laying around that you may have forgotten about?
We don't carry coffee.
Never?
No, it's disgusting.
Truth.
Okay. What's your best liquor you have
It's okay.
back there, dear?
Hold it.
Roll a persuasion check.
Lots of cream and sugar.
17.
17? I have some stuff from the Borderlands.
Is it
That's awesome.
No,
Hell yeah.
no,
The
we know
Borderlands.
this.
Talia doesn't know any of that shit. You shut your cooing mouth.
But you mustn't tell anyone.
I was gonna give it to someone, but I won't tell them where I got it, okay?
Roll a persuasion check.
I will pay you so much money,
No.
All that
it
money.
costs
It's okay.
so much money.
It's still a 17.
17? But you can't tell anyone you got it here.
Of course not. I would never reveal my sources.
I walk in like, give me that Borderlands.
She comes out with actually a fairly small bottle, as liquor bottles go. It's probably
Covered in
more
paraffin
like a
wax
thing of cognac almost.
Okay.
Come serve you the skull.
The cap, the cork is topped with with a skull with these giant demon horns.
Hell yeah.
Coming off of it.
Oh, Jenny is so excited right now.
And it is sealed.
Paraffin waxed and everything.
No, it's sealed with some kind of metal.
Oh, that's the good stuff. Hell yes.
You actually have to heat it up
Oh
in
gosh.
order to get the cork out.
Damn.
So, Lord Raina, how rare is this stuff?
The bartender in me is just so happy right now.
It's all about the aesthetic.
Just
Hell
between us
yeah.
friends.
I could be exiled for having it.
Damn.
You're a big tip.
I need this.
You're a big tip.
Well, I gotta wait to see how much the bill is
What's
first.
the type?
It's 600 gold.
Oh, I don't have that much. Boo. What about just a little bit?
That means you have to open it.
Yeah. You would have to open the whole thing.
Who knows how long it lasts? Some liquor doesn't last that long. At least it's not that good.
Well,
for
that's a
while.
bit beyond my pay at the moment. Hold on to it for me, and it's just our secret, you and me.
You never saw this?
Never. I don't even
She
know.
get it.
You've never been in here before.
This is our bar.
She goes and puts the bottle back.
Lori Raina, I come in here all the time, but I don't know what
never
you're
been here
talking
before.
about. I don't know you.
I don't know you. Yeah.
She probably
I
doesn't,
hope
to
you
be
didn't have a
perfectly
regular
honest.
drink.
This is like I feel like I would buy for Cormyr on a really good night. He's waving in the
have
front. I'm buying
600
really
gold.
nice stuff. I get a discount. I perform there.
Were you here when we cracked that?
What?
Were
No.
you here when we cracked
That
that?
would, oh, it's hilarious.
It's a good time. Shut the fuck up.
It's good.
It was good stuff.
It was really good stuff. Oh man, I wanted to see that so bad.
Don't. It was. I just remembered the name. Baylor Brew.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was little tiny too.
It's what Lorvis's friendly elf cleric that wasn't an elf cleric told her to go try sometime. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. Okay, well I will sadly leave Lori Raina with her contraband and make my way back to pick up these guys and go to with Almanya to the
Good.
Oh, I would have sent a letter to Sandalhain
Yeah,
asking
you
if we
told
could
me
talk
about that.
at some point, and I'll give it to you at some point. I just don't have
Yeah.
it with me right now.
Okay. Over the course of the week, so I'll give you guys your research stuff. Yeah. No, this. You've got
I'm
9
gonna
days.
get together with Theodosia and start to decipher her journal.
Oh,
But
okay.
her eyes are younger than mine, and she's pretty smart.
Okay. So you're immediately breaking Taliyah's dress.
I told her to let somebody else help her with it. It was fine.
Oh, okay.
But
But I'm not
just
telling it to the boys. It's going to be me and Theodosia.
Right. Oh, I know.
secret.
just for your purposes, Josh, and DC setting or whatever, it's a Caesar shift by 5.
Am I smart enough for that? No.
Roll an intelligence check with advantage.
Oh, come on.
Brings me back to senior year code
Total
breaking.
crap. On both.
With Miss Masso.
Intelligence?
Yes, and I'll let you add your proficiency bonus to it.
Do you get expertise at 3rd level, Grace? Well, not on intelligence checks, but
It would be... Still not good enough. Be
I
a
mean-
9.
Just a 9. Okay.
Yeah, it's not good. Rolled a 2 and a 5.
You can bring it to my little brother.
So unfair.
You and Theodosia can't quite crack it, and it's frustrating because you're both convinced it's actually pretty simple, and you're overthinking it.
Bring in that little tiefling sucker and get him to help.
So if you wanted to spend the remainder of your week trying to decipher it.
I will.
Okay, you can roll again.
Thanks. Keep my advantage.
Yes.
I am bringing that tiefling kid, by the way.
Okay, I'll roll a separate
For all I know,
I'll
he's
roll a
really
separate
good
one
at. For
him.
all I know, he's a smart kid. I mean, he is a smart kid. Thank you.
Wow.
Okay, fine. So now it's. Do I still have my proficiency or no?
Yeah.
Then it's 18.
18. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
You guys realize what it is. Almost immediately, it's one of those things
Or like
where
take a break and
you,
then you go
right,
back
exactly.
and look at
You
it.
come back
I hate
with
that.
fresh eyes. Cormorant's just here for the food.
Good boy. Good kiddo. Oh, he's so cute. He's all covered in butter.
He's sitting in Theodosia's lap, just crumbs and a muffin in his hands.
Especially since he's probably bigger than she is.
Yes.
She's a halfling.
Also,
18-year-old.
your house is still burning wood. Most people in the city are burning dung at this point.
Charming.
For cooking, to stay warm.
Pete, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Pioneers.
All right. So, lots
dry
of
dung does not smell.
Laura things, essentially.
Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything unresolved? Did you want to do anything other than...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can tell you what's in my journal. We'll get to that.
Spread the word. I want to work at the forge, so
Yeah.
spend time working there as normal, but I want to start looking for rare ores that I can chase down. Something with which to craft a weapon.
Okay. Go ahead and roll just an investigation or a history check. Where's my map?
Well, it sure shall be a history check. What is investigation? Isn't that wisdom?
It's also intelligence.
Fuck. Well, it's not going to matter then. 13.
13?
Yeah.
Okay. So, portals, dragonborn blood magic, Doi Basso, Onisher politics, different magic types. Things about different magic types. Which ones are more...
Reviled and which ones
Yep,
are more accepted.
got it. Known wizards
Guaranteed
and
success.
various
I already picked my school.
oils. Okay. Go ahead.
swap it.
Is there anything I should know,
Blow my nose right
Josh,
here,
for-
I'll launch right into that.
okay, go
Yeah.
on. About picking my college? Is there any kind of process that I have to go through that at the end of?
It is essentially graduation.
Ooh.
Do I get a cap?
Can we come and
Can we
see your
You did not-
graduation?
You did not just pick your school. You've
Yeah.
been studying in that school.
Right.
You are now proficient in those things. And you're at the point where the college says, great, we've taught you everything we know about that.
Go
not,
find it.
Not everything. We've got you started.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the rest is learning on your own. We're always here to consult.
Mm-hmm.
So either you
And
need
take
to...
alumni money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
you need to...
We need a
Obviously.
gift.
You need to go away.
Give
but
us your money!
no, that's the thing, right? Most colleges,
John Mulaney.
right, will call you for years afterwards, asking you, right? Hey, would you want to donate to this institution that you already gave too much money to?
$145,000.
They told me to read Jane Austen, and I didn't!
Anyway,
Sorry, continue. I got
um,
my English degree. I can say.
they need you to bring back secrets, stories, rumors,
Okay.
things like that.
Okay.
Money from a dragon award.
Yeah, that would help.
All right. I'm gonna be working on my song for my teacher then.
Okay. And
But yes, I'm gonna go through graduation, and if there's a ceremony, I'm inviting all my friends.
I don't have a graduation ceremony.
That's okay. I didn't prepare.
But I could do one. Maybe we could do a one shot.
Yeah, we can do a one shot. That's
Oh,
just a graduation
sweet
ceremony.
baby Jesus.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Nothing could ever go wrong.
I know.
I'm-
It's so great.
And a big bard graduation party.
I am not in a state at the moment to role play
That's
a
fair.
college of bards.
Is anyone
It's
ever?
true.
Sometimes.
It's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Nope, that's fine. I was just curious as to what the
We could
process
all
looked like.
play other
That's great, though.
bards in the college. That
So
would be awesome.
portals. You were researching with Endon specifically
Yep.
why. Go ahead and roll a history check with advantage.
Okay. That's an 11.
An 11.
Yeah, one of them was a natural one. So
At least you had advantage.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I did.
Delete things from your memory.
You guys can't figure it out. There's really no reason that you should have been able to teleport into the city unless the wards have failed.
Okay.
Oh crap.
All right. Interesting. Okay.
It gets worse, oddly enough.
Oddly enough, it gets worse. Yep. I'm
Okay.
just toting that pillar around in its beautiful wrapping, like to and from
Have
the
you
library
told
every
us
day
that
with
you
him.
have it by this time yet?
Nope.
But we figured it out since we landed in your house.
Vera
I don't know
and
if you did,
Lyra
but
both
We
know.
did. We
Okay.
landed in your
Yeah.
house when we arrived, so we know
Right.
you have it.
So you guys
maybe-
know,
Yes, we
but you don't
strongly
know and you don't
suspect.
know.
Yes.
I've mostly been keeping it quiet because I didn't want anybody to be like, hey, we should report this to the guards and have them take it. before
Already
I found
did.
out stuff.
Oh, that was the other thing I meant to ask you, DM.
Yes.
Sergeant Hud said that he was going to put a watch on me. In the last week, have I noticed that any guards people have been following me around?
No.
I would also actively look for them.
Roll a perception check.
They're busy.
Oh.
The food
I
riots.
was going to be so mad if that was a natural.
I was so hoping for a natural 20 and it
Just
betrayed
confronts
me.
the guards.
It was a 4.
A 4. Okay.
Yeah, no,
You do
I don't
not.
notice. Okay, fine.
Nope. Okay. Lyra, go ahead and roll a history check or investigation into Dragonborn blood magic.
Yeah, all that bullshit, wisdom bullshit.
I know wisdom is totally my dump
Oh, I'm
stat.
gonna
There was
roll
nothing
history.
there.
You're a bard.
Of course.
it
I'm
was.
Your wisdom's
delighted
better than
that
mine.
strength was my dump stat.
My 0?
Yeah.
Can I help her?
That's why she has advantage.
Oh,
Thank goodness.
Did I not say that?
no.
No.
Oops.
That's better. 14.
14. The Dragonborn keep a pretty tight lid on their stuff.
Not surprised.
Mechanically speaking, what you do find out, their magic, while not as outrightly powerful, not as powerful outright as the standard schools of arcane, it is potent. Mechanically speaking, most saving throws against it are going to have disadvantage.
We found that out before.
What?
The only other thing that you can note is that the hegemony has a particular trade relationship with the Borderlands. That comes up. You notice that several times as you're researching blood magic, the Borderlands is mentioned, and there's some kind of trade going on between them. Not in ordinary goods. Dore Basso,
Yes.
go ahead and roll a history check.
It's a place.
Where Samvelheim is from.
That
Trusted.
is 18.
18. So Samvelheim told you it was a subcontinent far across the...
And I rolled a
Eastern
natural
Sea.
20 on that history check, so I knew some about it.
Right. Significantly smaller than Islal. Large mountainous jungles in the north.
That's exciting.
There are
Mosquitoes.
a variety of...
Tells them I hate them.
There are a variety of cities on the west coast of Dore Basso that trade heavily with the Combine.
That
Something
makes sense.
Give me a plate full of mosquitoes. Not those small bastards.
we can find down in the swamp.
That is where you would get coffee from.
Nice.
Of course.
Throw that
the
in there.
mosquitoes for it.
You fist fight the mosquitoes for your coffee
There's
in the morning.
not...
Box.
How dare you?
You know that that's where
Get my coffee.
Cora's family is from. So if you wanted to find more of them, you would go to Dore Basso. Sure.
That's where the kitty people are from.
Call one a kitty person to his face.
Is that where the kitty people are from?
It's where the
It
kitty
it
people
wor- it actually
Every time I saw Cora, I just
it
wanted to go,
actually
"Oh."
totally worked for Cora.
You did that to everything.
Yes.
Okay.
There is no large power anywhere in Doraibaso.
Okay.
It's a bunch of individual city-states or small confederacies,
Okay.
none of which are nearly as powerful as any of the great cities in Eastland.
Gotcha.
You do know that there was a war with Doraibaso a while ago.
Like,
That'd be in world building.
was it before or after, like, the Mage Wars?
Which is
What
the
a-
only relevant wars.
What
these
a
days.
really good
Lich
question.
Wars. What about the Lich Wars?
The Lich Wars were directly after the Mage Wars.
Yes.
The Lich Wars were like 800 years ago.
1200?
It was
600,
a bit.
I think.
It was a bit.
How old am I?
In the meantime, city politics. City politics, not difficult. You live here.
Right.
Most things are determined by the Trade Council, which is just 12 councilors. They directly manage the regulators, of whom there are 89.
Oddly specific number.
Sometimes you roll and it just gets weird.
They oversee the roughly... Good grief. You guys are making me
The
scramble.
real
all
question
over
is
my notes
89
today.
better
I warned you.
worse
I know.
than 79?
The regulators
Why would you think I was going to say?
Nothing.
directly oversee the city watch and the city guard. The city guard is garrisoned in the towers on the outer wall. City watch is more street patrols,
Okay.
etc. There's about 1,000 full-time watch and about 500 full-time guardsmen.
Okay.
I mean, I can tell you that the 12 counselors.
That would be great.
I should probably just send that to you.
Okay.
There are yours is Kegwen Grove.
Caitlin?
Okay, spell
Kegwen.
that.
K, like Sir K.
Yeah.
and then
K-E-G
Gwen. as in
W-I-N.
Gwendolyn.
Okay, what's the surname? Sorry.
Grove.
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 Interesting.
My pet council.
I don't know that, but okay.
The other significant political group is the judges. They're not an organ. They're not a. I mean, it's a guild. They are independent of the council.
Okay.
And mostly what happens is anything goes to court. The prosecution and the defense put up a certain amount of money. They are heard by 3 judges. Each of the judges, after all of the witnesses and whatever, propose a solution.
Okay.
The crowd, charitably called the jury, vote on which solution is best, and the judge whose solution is chosen gets the money that was put up by the prosecution and the defense.
Interesting.
So,
Based off the
but
opinion.
here's my question with that, is that if the judges are separate from the council,
Yeah.
then how much political power actually does the councilman have to protect us from the judges?
Roll a history check.
18.
It's popular to bribe judges.
Okay. So
Or
it's right.
stab him in the throat.
Gotcha.
Scribe Guild, Notary Guild. There's a treasury that's largely overseen by the council. It's, in theory, independent, but not really.
Nothing's truly
And then there is an Office of Regional Concerns that basically... I think you guys went there in West Ashore.
We did.
They're politically
That was
similar,
hilarious.
although Anashur did away with the trade master position a long time ago.
Understood.
They basically...
Such a history. Oh.
where'd they go? They mostly assign contracts to deal with problems within the city and in the surrounding region.
When all your verminocitors go missing, they hire adventurers to go find
Sure.
them.
Yeah.
What's a verminociter?
So if you were an adventurer and you wanted some kind of contract, you would go to the Office of Regional
Cultural
Concerns and say, "Hey, I want a job," and
Cultural affairs.
they would get you killed. It's a good system.
Okay.
Anyway, oh man,
I have something I also want to research when I have the chance.
my eyes are glazing over. What?
I have something I want to research whenever
God.
you have a chance, but you can keep
Okay.
going.
If it makes more sense for you to send it to me, because I might not share as much of the magic information with other people.
But you
That's
can
fine.
you can just tell them what they know and what
Why
they don't.
not?
What?
Yeah,
Because better
different
trash.
magic types. Necromancy, very heavily frowned on
Not
by
interested.
everyone. But
It's frowned upon
necromancy
in this
is
society.
extraordinarily easy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
There is no god of death. There
Is
is
it-
no plane to which souls go.
I hate that.
If you know how to look for them,
Oh god.
souls are just kind of floating around.
Where's Joe Castus?
Um,
I know. I need to
So
read.
mechanically, if anybody wants to play a necromancer wizard, there are some mechanical changes that I've made.
Hang on, let me ruin Wizard's Lice first, and then I'll play a wizard.
Yeah, no.
You're supposed to be our
That's
friends.
I want to see.
No,
the
that's
Devon-
actually my backup character is a wizard.
Nice.
That's
Should a
hilarious.
necromancer?
No, it was
Oh, okay.
something else, but it might be.
Yeah.
It might be now.
It's not too late.
Because one of them is when the dead rise, necromancy is on the loose.
Necromancy is always on the loose.
Leave me alone, Josh. I'm stealing from World War
You've done
II here.
Dead are,
slogans.
the
Are
dead
you looking
are
at old
always
propaganda
present.
So
posters?
I started out with what I could think of, and then that ran dry real quick because water's good for you. But we'll get there.
Okay. So necromancy, easy but bad.
Hashtag
Evocation.
easy but bad.
Let's make bad clear. They'll kill you.
Yeah.
In
That's
in
ironic.
fact, you have
You'll rise again.
yeah. If your relatives die, you've got about 6 hours to have them cremated before the city is coming after you.
Okay. That's fair.
Nice.
Conjuration heavily frowned upon.
Okay.
Transmutation is okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's how most of the not most, but well,
It's how food is created.
in normal times, the food creation part of that is a huge boost to the city's food supply.
Right.
Now it's basically all that you've got, besides scattered fishing down in the docks area, and whatever idiots want to pick up a bow and a spear and try to go find something outside the city.
Sure.
Idiots.
Or go to the coast through a little teleportation.
Divination is fine.
Okay.
It's not like Vreem.
Sweet.
Freaking free.
Hate frames so much.
Enchantment is okay. In fact, the City Watch regularly employs it.
Do explain.
Pacification.
Oh, that makes
Soothing.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Calm emotions sort of stuff.
Illusion is fine.
Oh, good.
And abjuration is fine.
So mostly they have a problem with necromancy and evocation
Necromancy, evocation, and
Conjuration.
conjuration.
and conjuration. Okay. So they don't
right.
like it when you move around or harness the elements or raise the dead.
Yes. You
Got it.
live in a densely packed city.
You harness the elements. people
Something
will start
catches
dying.
fire, you've got a major problem.
Yeah.
So that was a major oopsie.
Known wizards, of Rufus Kingrave, had a tower in Worcestershire.
A tower.
Had.
When?
I think we should focus on
Rufus
had in
Kincaid
that
had
sentence.
Well,
Sorry, I'm being
last-
positive.
Last you heard,
Sure.
Wizard Rufus Kingrave had a wizard tower in Worcestershire. And
Was
I was gonna
Rufus
say
a
something
very
else about
tall
that.
halfling wizard?
he was not. I was going to say something else,
Sorry.
and I forgot. Oh, that's the nearest known wizard.
Okay. Any others?
Not by name.
Okay.
They're around, but they tend to keep their head down because of how chaperoned and controlled magic is.
Okay.
All the people are going, yeah, we need to
Can I
chaperone it
help
more,
the
and,
both of you?
and the cities,
I have
the
no
city
idea what you're talking
authorities
about.
are going, we are chaperoning it. And you rolled an 11. Yes?
Sure. I don't remember. It had plus nothing to it, if that helps.
There are a lot of ore deposits on this continent that are just above ground. You don't have to dig very far. However, it is unbelievably expensive, difficult, and dangerous to go outside the city and establish any kind of permanent mining establishment to take advantage of that. You don't know of any rare ore anywhere near Onashur.
Are there mining operations below the city, though?
There are some. Okay. They're not very extensive.
Okay.
Once all of the major cities got more or less connected and they established reasonably safe caravan practices, most of the metal flowing across the continent comes from the dwarves who live in the Elder Range. I hope you guys can actually hear me. My register is dropping. Okay.
And can I do my research?
You wanted to research?
I want to look up the Pillar of Eden and anything I can figure out about it.
Sure.
I figure I can do that through the library and through asking my family and kind of, anybody who would kind of know anything about the Pillar.
That's fine. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Real quick.
Yes.
So for this ore investigation, is that a library thing, or is that a talking to other smiths kind of thing?
It's mostly talking to other smiths.
Okay.
That's a 17.
A 17. The Pillar of Eden is one of the floating islands that make up the center of the hegemony.
Yeah.
It's one of the larger ones.
Yep.
And it is covered in a dense jungle.
Okay.
The height of the trees themselves, nobody really knows, because nobody's ever actually gotten to the bottoms of them. Right, so basically you head over to the Pillar of Eden via usually some kind of magical transportation. And you're basically you exist among the branches and the trunks, but you can go down and down hundreds and hundreds of feet and you don't hit the bottom.
Okay.
It is used if you want to become a Dragonborn Ranger. It's used for the coming of age rite.
Is this are we talking about rangers as in the military rangers?
No, as in the class Ranger.
Oh, okay.
If you tell me, hey, Josh, I want to be a Dragonborn Ranger, and yes, and no, I don't want to be a slave, then this is what you did or will have to do.
Do that and throw you off the top.
So that's an alternate to taking your trials, is becoming a ranger?
No, that's the trial for Rangers. Oh, God.
That's so interesting. Okay.
They don't have one for bards.
Yes, I know.
Really,
this is why you're an embarrassment.
I know. So a disappointment.
Either you're going to have to convince them to make one, or you're going to have to somehow make it through one of the other classes' trials.
Okay.
Daughters of disappointed mothers, right here. Me and Almanya.
My mom isn't disappointed. She's just worried about me.
I believe in you.
Same.
Anyway.
You'll probably be able to recover most of your body.
Right.
Probably.
Yes. On that scintillating note.
Take a break so you can get something.
Delivered in a smooth, rich baritone.
Yes.
We're going to go ahead and take a break.
Yeah.
We will be back in about 10 minutes, so join us then, and I think that's your week.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll figure out what you guys want to do then. You are all level 3.
We've been level 3.
I know. Now officially. regarding the murder of various authors, shall we continue?
Yeah,
We love
spend a
catching.
few minutes bitching
We love
about it.
Catch the Process. We love Brandon Sanderson.
Anyway.
We love Chimamanda Adichie.
So that brings us to the end of your week of downtime. During that time, you noticed some things.
Oh dear. We noticed things.
Cocaine use is on the rise.
As are
Probably aided by
gunfires.
people that I know.
The city has a haze over it of just foul smell.
Been burning done.
Medieval cities stank to high heaven. A number of houses have been boarded up in several neighborhoods. Some of them, you yourselves have boarded them up while on your nightly Happy Squad patrol, because they have holes dug in the cellar that appear to connect to some of the tunnels beneath the city. So those have been, those houses have been sealed, and a semi-permanent posting placed on each one. Still, ghoul attacks are increasing. Until about the 7th or 8th day of this week, when they dropped suddenly. Lots of reports of ghouls posing as beggars, like what assailed you. Also, go with that. Stores, no matter how secure, of food have also been going missing. We did that. Good. There were 2 riots. Both of them. Where's my city map?
One of them about the abuse of the
Pessimist.
Both of them in Mattergold Cross.
And where is that in relation to where we live?
It's one district away. So it goes, it's your district, Riston Point, and then Mattergold Cross.
Mattergold,
which is unusual. Most of the riots have been in the poorer sections of town.
So is it a ritzier section?
It's named like
It's not as nice as yours.
Okay.
It's a couple steps up from the Slacks.
Okay.
One of them ended up burning down half a street before they could put the fire out.
Wow.
The other one was quelled without too much difficulty.
What were they for?
Yeah.
The riots.
Mad about.
What was the theme? Flags. Legalize cocaine.
Give it to us.
She said it, not me.
In the spirit of slogans, feed us or leave us, was the one that was put down fairly easily. The other one didn't seem to have any demands.
Okay.
The crowd was chanting blood, blood, blood.
Oh, that's great.
Shit.
Are you guys gonna come and talk to me about blood or?
Yeah, no, we would have talked to you at some point about the library, at the library, but yeah.
That's fine.
And
Did
on
he
the
give
very
me
last day,
scroll?
as you appeared at Kelfir's home,
Scroll unrolls. Learn for yourself.
you found the front door open.
That's weird.
That's really weird.
Is he dead? He's dead.
He's dead.
Just walk in.
He's dead.
Don't walk in.
Thank God he's dead.
Make somebody
I'll
else
look
walk
around,
in, girl.
see if anyone's watching me.
Roll a perception check.
You're so tiny, inspired.
That's 11.
It's a little chaos.
Okay.
Streets are fairly empty.
Alright, I'll just throw up a shield and go in.
You mean mage armor?
No, I already have mage armor. I was going to Kelfir's house.
I know. Shield lasts 6 seconds.
No, it's a reaction. Okay, I got you. Yeah, sure.
Oh,
I'll
so you're not
ready shield.
casting it.
No, I'll ready
You've
it.
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As you approach the door, you can hear clattering. You hear the smashing of some kind of article of glass.
Attaboys.
I'm gonna kill you.
And you hear furniture
let him be
being
dead.
moved.
And I hear what?
And you hear furniture being roughly moved.
Okay, I don't like that.
Is he dead?
Excuse me. Who goes there?
In here, girl.
Oh, dang. He's
You hear
alive.
Kelfier's voice.
Okay. Did you know the door was open?
You walking in?
Yeah.
Okay. In the room
Constitution saving throw.
are Kelfier, and 6 others, all of them human, all of them young, all of them carrying large packs, and they are kind of putting more alchemical equipment gently into one person's pack. They're all just loading each other up with most of what's in the room. You can see a smashed alembic off in the corner where it looks like it was just dropped. Kelfier is standing kind of in the middle of the room, watching it. He's got a book out and seems to be making markings in it, looking around. There is a secret, well, no longer secret. There's a trapdoor in the floor, and you see 2 of the people. No.
Oh, please do it.
No. They're moving up and down it, carrying more packages that you can't see into. They are wrapped. And you did not know that trapdoor or staircase, was there. And there's just all of this bustle going on around you.
So are you really leaving then? Like, for good this time?
Perhaps.
Well, do you need me to help you with anything? Like, what am I to do now?
You learn for yourself until perhaps I return.
So I've been through everything that the library has already.
Some spells have been dropped off at your house.
Okay.
You can study those in the meantime.
Very well.
When you're ready, come and find me.
How will I find you?
Be strong enough.
I have a lock of hair. He told me to collect tokens of people.
He looks at you, just furious for a second, and then the expression brightens a little bit.
You told
Kind of
me to
the
take
corner
tokens.
of his mouth curls up a little bit. No.
Arm wrestle me.
I'm going to Worcestershire.
What? No, that's
Good.
a terrible idea.
He's gonna die.
Let him go.
And why is that?
You're gonna die for sure.
People don't come back from there. Hey, have you heard? The city is overrun with undead.
Indeed.
You
But
don't-
that bastard Kingrave's tower is available.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, is that where you're going to stay then?
For the time being,
How will you?
Worcestershire has depths which I have yet to plumb. And I believe there is more below that city than even Kingrave knew.
Well, how are you going to get there? No one sails across the inland sea.
Indeed. Any other questions?
No, just the first one. How are you going to get there?
Good. This is all prepared. And he just turns and walks out, and everybody in the room just follows him. Roll a perception check.
11.
Step in the back.
Yeah. One of them's the boy.
Pretty damn.
Okay.
They're out of the room into the hallway.
I want to catch him.
You're running up and catch who?
The boy.
The boy?
I obviously won't touch Kelfier. That's stupid.
Okay.
And she dies
And
instantly.
I'm not
Grabs
an
him,
idiot.
turns him around. It's the counselor. So, would you like a tea now?
In my defense.
I knew he was shady.
You run up and just kind of grab his arm, and he just pulls his arm away, doesn't look, and keeps going.
No. Tell me your name at least.
No response. They're
Okay.
walking out into the street.
I run after him and I grab his hair.
Damn, that's a sister move. That's a sister move.
Roll a melee attack roll. Use your strength.
I hate you. 5.
Okay. You.
I just want hair. That's all I want.
I know what you want. You reach out and you're trying to get around the pack, but he just kind of roughly shoves you off to the side, and you kind of fall down in the street.
I wanted to help you.
No,
I've been looking for you.
Kelfir at the head of this column kind of stops. Continue on, and the whole column just continues on.
Is he stopping?
He stops and turns and looks at you. Enough of this.
You told me he didn't exist. You told me I dreamed the whole thing. What is he doing here? What?
Inception.
Do you think you're ready?
No, I'm ready.
Turns and follows off. You claimed you're ready?
Yep.
Okay. He spins. We're going to use my dice that keeps rolling twice.
No.
I need to curse it with this red one. Curse.
Does 17, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that. Actually, no, not with shield.
Okay. You casting shield?
Yeah.
Okay, good. A bolt of fire comes flying at you, and you throw up your hand, and a wall of invisible force appears in front of you, and it splashes
Middle
against
finger
you.
up.
He's doing this in the street, isn't he?
Yeah.
But it was relatively, because she did the perception check before she went in.
What are you doing?
Check.
I deserve to know. I know that you've done things.
Just throwing another fireball at you. Firebolt.
Shield's still up.
Firebolt. No, this is new round.
Shield lasts until the end of my next turn.
The end of your next turn?
I was about to say, so reaction. He
Oh,
threw
yeah,
his
so if
firebolt
it was
to
my
get
turn,
to
then
It's
yeah.
the beginning of your next turn.
Sure. It's
Right.
gone.
Okay.
Roll like crap.
Yeah, 26.
Sure, that hits.
Wizard duel.
Dem
Spell your
modifiers,
own.
though.
The duel of the fates.
Sorry, that's
playing
probably
in my head.
trademarked. Oops.
Dun, dun,
You take
dun, dun, dun.
16 points of fire damage.
That hurt.
Playing in my
You're
head.
ready? Show me.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Blast his
Fireball.
stupid face.
You start to cast a spell.
Dun, dun,
It ends.
Ah.
He did not cast a spell. He snapped his fingers, and yours failed. And he throws another fireball.
This guy's gonna die.
Okay.
dun, 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 dun.
17.
I'll shield.
Shield again? Okay. Splashes off. You can see the shield cracked through before the magic faded. It's your turn.
I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts.
It fails.
Shit.
He's counterspelled you before as part of your training. Basically, the way counterspell works is it just throws basically kind of a chunk of nonsense into your spell. The words.
Spellcasting is Jane sequencing. I love it.
The words, right? The sequence of words that you're speaking as part of the spell, right? Basically times it right and throws a nonsense phrase in there, disrupts the spell. This is not counterspell. It is as if there was a hole in your sequence, in your equation, that you didn't realize was there, and your attention is called to it, and then you lose concentration and the spell fails. And he's going to throw a firebolt at you.
Okay.
21.
Okay.
Another 21 points
I'm out.
of fire damage. Okay. You try to cast the shield, but the firebolt slams into you, and you hit the ground. And as your vision narrows, you see Kelfir just leaning down over you. Next time you cast at me, win, or I will kill you. And you fade to black.
I wake up in the city watch office. When I woke up in jail for the third time.
So you have yet to wake up in jail. Talk to a real connoisseur.
So he said, "When next time, basically, win or I kill you."
Next time you throw a spell at him, win, or he's going to kill you.
Not unless we kill him first, because we hate him.
Do we though?
Murder.
We haven't met him.
Murder.
I know, we have no
I
idea
might
who he
love
is.
him.
Murder killer.
We might be tight.
It's gonna be lit.
That was in the morning.
Yeah, what happens to me in the afternoon?
Roll a d4.
Oh,
Lord.
Find out when the afternoon starts for you.
In the snow, in the fucking street. Holy shit.
3. It's like the one time you want to roll low on a d4. Come
Yeah.
on.
It's true.
Oh, jeez.
See if the ghoul finds you.
Oh god.
You say it like that.
You wake up still in the street.
Aww.
Your clothes are soaked through, and you are shivering hard.
I've been this road several times. I know the way to the nearest city watch office, yes?
Sure. I'm pretty sure you were unconscious both times
Oh, that's
you went
fair.
there.
Hang in there, Sergeant Hood! Put me into
Come to my house. Sit in front of a fireplace.
Where is his house in relation to mine? Like, is it close-ish to mine?
Are you carrying anything valuable?
You say it like that.
I would have my component pouch and
What's
my-
in there?
You wouldn't have all your
nothing
money.
Licorice.
really.
Okay.
Like,
No, licorice.
Your pearl necklace is gone,
ah.
and whatever gold, silver, copper you were carrying with you is gone.
I would have left the gold at home, but so I would be out of. I would have had copper and silver, not gold.
So you have no more copper or silver.
I would have had my spellbook, obviously.
They didn't care.
Okay.
Okay.
Reunite Snowdrop will burn their houses to the ground.
Yeah, come with a snowdrop.
Come to your favorite local fence.
Some of your components look like they've been chewed on and then thrown into the snow next to you.
He likes
So
licorice.
This looks good and it's gross.
I don't actually have licorice. That was my other wizard.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, okay.
We delicious.
She has
stuff.
turmeric.
Yeah, that's delicious.
You've been knocked out and robbed.
Great. Well, that pearl necklace meant a lot to me. That's making me grumpy.
Cuckoo.
She doesn't actually
So,
know
but
that,
where
that's true.
where is my house in relation to
She knows.
his? And
She knows
you know, for that matter, all of my friends whose houses I've been to, which would be Lyra. And have I don't think I've been to
You
your
took
house.
me home drunk.
Oh, that's true. I've been to all of my friends' houses.
You've been to my house, yeah.
Yeah. So where is his house in relation to theirs? Who's his closest? Because that's where I'm going. Is whoever's closest.
Yes.
Poor thing.
No, actually.
Oh, I know.
Cormyr's house.
No, but
I know.
Cormyr's house.
Cormyr's is the closest.
Yes!
How much farther is it to Almanya's?
No! You're friends, remember?
I'm really close to the snowdrop.
We're compadres. Let me roll for a season.
Another 10-minute walk.
Fine, I'll go to Cormyr's house.
Okay, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Why?
It's just alcohol in the air.
Why do you do this to me? I hate you. It's a 12.
A 12? Okay. You have 1 point of exhaustion,
Okay.
which will go away as soon as you get
Warm.
warm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll
Okay.
make it to Cormyr's house. Knock on the. I'll check the door for traps.
Oh, yeah. I trap my door.
Roll an investigation check with disadvantage.
Oh.
Cute.
This is how I deal with natural 20s.
It wasn't a natural.
You
20
knock
either
people out
time.
and rob them in the street?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rude.
2020. Welcome to
It was
2020,
a
everyone.
14.
A 14. It does not appear trapped.
Okay, I'll knock on it.
Okay. Cormyr, would you be home?
I don't know. What time of day is this?
It'll be late
Around
afternoon.
noon.
Around noon?
Yeah.
I might be home for food. Maybe.
He's having
Like, I'd
lunch.
roll for it.
Sure. Okay.
Because either that or I'm
Not
spending
come
the
to
morning at the Smith.
So one or a 2, you're there. 3 or 4, you're home. You're not there. I mean?
3 or 4, I'm not there?
So you're not there.
I'm not there.
Okay. The door opens,
Okay.
and a large half-orc
Oh, that's right, my
boy
buddy!
toy. He has a roommate. I
is
forgot about
standing
that.
there. Not long, but just scruffy beard, totally unkempt.
But I know him, right? I've seen him before.
There's no,
No?
I don't think we've
you have
met
never
this
seen
dude.
it.
Not even
There's-
when I took Cormyr home drunk?
Correct. There's a top knot, but the hair all around, or the skin all around, has kind of hair growing messily out as well, and all kinds of scars on the arms, on the neck, on the face, bloodshot eyes. Yeah, it works really well.
I was about to say, it's
Who are
worse
you?
with the cold.
Wait,
It's probably
I
feeling
checked
about as good
I
as I
checked
am.
the house number. Does Cormyr live here?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm a friend of his. Can I come in?
kind of looks you up and down. No.
What's your name, my
I have
friend?
a butler, too.
Rufus. I have a Rufus.
Why?
So I'm Taliyah. I'm a friend of Cormyr's. I'm with him on the Happy Squad patrol. I'm really cold, and I appear to have been robbed.
That's so plaintive.
He's wearing a pearl necklace. No.
So sad.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. You know, you gotta pay for those 20
Hold on.
sometimes.
Hold
See
on,
it
with
from
disadvantage because you have a level.
Do
Can't
you
get
think
anywhere.
disadvantage matters at this point, my dear?
Did you roll a 1?
Yes, I rolled a 1.
Perfect. He shuts the door in your face.
Oh.
That's great. I'll go to Almanya's.
Roll a
There
constitution
are always
saving
people in my
throw.
house.
Yeah, but are the Dragonborn going to be
That's a
more
4.
welcoming than a
I mean,
half-orc?
and then they
She
met
wakes
her
up in the
family.
watch office.
You do.
I wake up in the watch office. Perfect.
You wake up in the interrogation room.
Dang, girl.
Blanket, tea,
Oh.
which is mostly just water. You look in. There's really almost no tea
9
leaves.
parts water, 1 part cocaine?
Yeah.
Sergeant
Just a little
Hud?
something to perk her up for the
There's
interrogation.
nobody in there.
I open the door. Sergeant Hud?
This has become your hotel. Personal hotel room.
Some young human female looks up from a desk. Kelfir?
I'm Taliyah.
Yeah, but Sergeant Hud said if it was Kelfir, you're free to go, but if there's a different problem...
There's a different problem.
Alright.
Those fucking
Kelfir, but Rob.
Picks up some paper, quill and ink, walks into the room with you, sets it down. Alright, now what's the problem?
Well, first of all, my dear, what's your name, please?
Cameron,
Cameron, do you have a surname?
Diaz.
does it matter?
interesting
Oh,
choice
that's
of
right.
surname.
You asked the questions in here, not me. I forgot that. Sorry.
Oh, triple disadvantage.
Being passive
So
aggressive.
it started out
Very on
obviously as Sergeant Hud would assume with Kelfir. But however, when I was passed out in the street, I was in fact robbed of some of my valuable belongings. So I'd like to file a report about that if possible.
Alright, what'd you lose?
A pearl necklace worth about 50 gold.
Needs to be worth at least 100, I think, for identify, right?
No, it's 50 right now.
Is it 50? Okay.
And I lost 39 silver and 5 copper. And some of my components were chewed on, but that's fine. I put them back in my bag.
But you are missing that time.
Yes.
Josh, about your ears.
And then, so there's a man living in the home of my friend, and he very rudely shut the door in my face.
Can we arrest him for being rude?
That's fair.
He's a squatter.
And I'm not sure if he belongs there or not because I've never seen him there before.
Probably
can I
murdered
go
your
now?
friend and ate him.
Oh, this is pretty cool, actually. I love the
Do you
idea
suspect
of
that he didn't belong there?
Well, I've certainly never seen him there
Rats
before.
first,
Although, to be
then
fair,
Okay.
Cormyr does have odd tastes.
It's my inner bard showing through.
Baelish lives.
I've only been to his house a couple of times, so I can't say for certain that he didn't belong there, but I'd certainly never seen him there before, and he was very rude.
Okay, well, look, as soon as
And,
we get the city not burning down,
of course, is there
fed.
anything I can do to help with any of those things, by the way?
yeah, can you generate food?
No, but my sister can. I'm sure she's already doing it, so...
Well, we'll look into that.
I mean... If you need someone to watch the desk or
shit. I deal with cops
help
every
out,
day.
I feel like
I'll look
I'm gonna
into
have a
it.
little bit more time on my hands now. So if you need somebody to take morning shifts at the desk or something like that, I'm up for that. Anything I can do to help.
You're already on Happy Squad.
Sure, but I was also studying magic.
You were.
Cold devices.
Magical-
Save it, save it, save it.
Interaction.
How are you gonna finish that
Magical jewelry making.
Magical.
Magic.
Magical
History.
history, yes. At the library, and I seem to have run out of material. So I have
Inside check.
Can I roll deception check against it?
Oh, this isn't an insight
Okay.
check. This is to see if she's read what
Oh,
HUD gave
okay.
her earlier.
Do not listen to this little elf girl.
God, I love it.
That'll be okay.
What?
Unless you wish to join the watch, in which case all that free time that you just told me about is gone. We'll handle it from here.
Okay. But will you call me if my necklace shows up, please?
Sure.
So, and I'll explain to her exactly where I live.
Yeah, okay.
Give my mailing address.
Yes,
She'll call you.
I know.
I never got time for this.
You're still living with your family?
Yes.
We know where you are.
Okay.
That wasn't
Wait,
horrifying at all.
have you guys been watching me?
Will that be all?
She eats a chip. That'd be all.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check.
Balls.
Interesting number.
Actually, it's a 14.
She's clearly disappointed in what you've told her and done with this conversation.
Okay, fine.
Wants to get back to work.
And definitely will follow up
Cameron,
on this.
was it? Okay.
Totally.
Talk to your favorite fans.
All right, thank you.
Fence.
Nothing. So, you know,
Did I
things
lose
you
my
put around
point of
your yard.
exhaustion at this point?
You're out there talking.
Yeah, you
'Cause I'm warmed up
you
and
can stay until you do and then head off.
Okay. Then I'll just, what did I get? I'm irritated. Very irritated. Where do I go when I'm irritated?
Lots of places.
Bar.
The library.
You said library, I said bar.
It should be opposite.
Snowdrop in.
I'm gonna go to Mother. That's where I'm gonna go.
Bar.
Okay.
Did I manage to convince my brother to be training her sister in sword fighting?
Your brother did want to learn, yes?
Her
My
sister wanted to
sister.
learn.
Yes.
Your sister,
And my
I'm sorry.
brother is a sword fighter.
Brennis.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Did I manage to convince? Sweet.
Damn it.
Okay.
Oh, I also wanted to have that conversation with what is his name? Sam
Sam
Yeah.
Valname.
He's a
First,
hard
first you
man to get in
find his name,
contact
and
with.
then
Okay, so my brother
Sorry.
is currently teaching her sister how to
Yes.
sword fight.
However, you are
Finally,
prettier
someone
than me,
can
so you might be able to
corral
get
that He's good
okay.
at corralling children, right?
Well, I assumed that, like,
Oh,
on a
he
previous
had to deal with me.
contact,
Puts him in a
like, I would have
corral.
said, like, hey, we need to get
Yeah.
together
Stay
to
here until you learn
Sure.
manners.
He
It's a sibling.
you set up a time, and he actually comes out of his house this time.
Oh.
Well, by this time, you guys have signed the contract. You are clients and patrons.
So now he has more time.
So she gets in just like that, does she?
You guys
Hey,
signed.
she came from Japan.
I was just saying, she's clearly younger and prettier than me, so it's gonna work a lot
But we've
better.
now signed
So
the
he-
thing, so now he has more time for us now.
He bundles
time
up,
for us.
comes out
Sure.
with you, and says, "Come, let us walk."
Oh, I hate this
I love him. He's great.
Doesn't
So,
like
so
apples.
you wearing your new little shiny
Mm-hmm.
pin,
Pin.
your silver halberd on a black field. You and he are just walking down the street.
I would like to discuss establishing a set religious practice here. We'll need a place and people to be employed in the teaching of the real meeting for people to get together and share their worries and stresses and perhaps provide relief for one another.
I can acquire that. When would you like to begin?
As soon as possible.
As soon as possible. All right. I will acquire a space. Then you and I will need to discuss message.
Yes. Yes, that is important. What would you like to include?
You wish to
You know, it's a
express,
mystery cult.
to instill hope. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Hope. Based upon what?
Based upon the goddess Muriel and the idea that together we can survive the dark times.
And what would the tenets of this religion be?
Well, that is something we might discuss further. I have a friend who seems to know a lot about religious practices and... I'm sorry. I don't know. How do I describe
You
it?
Do
said
you?
it.
She might not be
I'm done
talking
with
about
You
you.
translated the piece of paper.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm obviously very smart.
Like, Lyra
Yeah.
is impressed with her.
Very.
So we could probably solidify our tenets, but firstly, it would be worship of Illyriel, belief in this goddess, and perhaps in conjunction with prestige of your name and your
Of course.
goodness.
We must attach my name to this as closely as possible without interfering with your message. Do you want to write up at some point
Sure.
the tenets,
Yeah.
the practices,
Yeah.
etc.?
Sorry, I
Okay.
cannot think on the spot.
No, it's
So bad
fine.
about that.
So he tells you he will, along those lines, write, preach whatever you want, and he will give you things to insert.
Hey,
Awesome.
I can give you some tenets if you like.
Yeah.
Starts with arcane magic.
Yeah.
Better tragic than magic.
Too swole to roll.
Hey, good happen.
Number 2.
Oh, God.
That's funny.
Okay. Is there anything else you wanted in that conversation? Okay. So we'll say at the end of this time, you guys all end up at the Snowdrop Inn.
I would have made Mother a cup of ginger tea, but not taken one myself, and just talked to her for a while.
Are you telling her what happened?
I explained to her what happened, and I'll explain to her that Kelfier appears to be gone for a while. I expect that she's slightly relieved.
Roll an insight check. It's obvious. She's relieved.
I'll also talk to her about Lyra and how I'm studying with Lyra and working with her now.
Okay.
And see, I would like to gauge what her reaction to that is. Like,
Roll
I'll
an-
explain to her what Lyra has told me.
Yeah, roll an insight check.
It's my mother. And it's a 14.
14. She is slightly perturbed.
Okay. That's fair.
You gonna let it go?
What troubles you about this, Mother? Because I can tell that you're troubled somewhat. And I understand that I'm into... Like, I've started researching strange things, and I understand that that's...
She
difficult.
believes that this goddess is real?
Yes. I mean, and it says in the book that she has in the parchment. think this story is. And it's very...
But it grants her power?
It does. I've seen her power.
You have read enough to know that rarely ends well.
But, Mother... Power is needed. I'm ignoring the pigeons that are suddenly on my roof.
No.
I didn't
Strength
say
is needed.
anything.
Just gestures. We're good.
Might makes right.
Strength is needed, but what is strength, Mother, but a form of power?
Power with restraint. With kindness.
Yes, with kindness and with hope.
Yes.
And
But in each other. In
of course.
In what we can do,
And-
not in some being that grants power without understanding.
So it's,
Shit,
it's
we got him on the wrong foot.
It's the other power. It's the other power that bothers you then. Because I do trust in Lyra as a person, and actually in all of my companions.
I'm sure you do. It is not Lyra that worries me. It's this being that grants her power.
Did my large elf friend
Take a pass? Yes.
did
otherwise.
was he less than gentlemanly towards you?
For an abrupt change of conversation.
It was, nothing I haven't dealt with before.
Hello,
I'm gonna give
nurse.
him I'm sorry, I won't invite him to come to the house anymore. Are
Only
you?
in that season.
Certainly bring him next time he's inflicted with some sort of deadly disease that could threaten us all. But
Maybe
you
I
wish to exclude him-
should take him to Elville next time and not to you. Of course, her skills are not as good as yours.
that is up to you.
Would you be more comfortable with that? Oh God, what if he did that to Elville?
Depends on the season.
Taliyah, I treat the sick.
There's a lot of fucking pigeons in this room.
I ignore their shit. And we survive.
Just wait for that act.
I will do better, Mother. I'm sorry. I don't want to trouble you. Just one more question. The councilman said something to me the other day about Lorban and how I must wish to go to Westashire to find him. If that were possible, would that be something that you and Father would want?
Absolutely not.
But what if he's still alive?
That's possible, but not likely. I wouldn't want to lose another child.
Okay. Oh, did Kelfir said he dropped some scrolls off here for me?
Yes.
Okay.
Episode 8. He has given you Featherfall, Alarm, and Locate Object.
Okay.
Well, that'll come in handy for when someone steals my shit.
I gave it back.
This time.
Alright. Mother, is there anything that you would like me to focus on for you specifically? Or for Father? Anything that you know of to make your lives easier or help?
The food from the counselor has been needed
Yes.
badly.
Yes, I know.
Whatever we can do to preserve that relationship.
Of course. I will do my best, I promise. I'll have more time now.
Indeed.
You did offer to help at the watch office, but they seem to be okay, so maybe I'll see.
You spend enough time out on patrol anyway. Your talents would be wasted there.
What should I do? Because I don't know what to do, and
Your friends and you are making a name in the neighborhood. Perhaps ask them.
okay. Alright. Give her a hug and we'll go away with our business. Go start making scrolls.
Okay. So you guys are all convened at the Snowdrop Inn.
Yep.
Nice.
Sam Vilhane has not made any demands. From
You mean
his,
requests?
from his clients yet?
I just have more knitting supplies than usual. Cormyr, darling, do you have a favorite color?
He said brown was
Wait,
his
hang
favorite
on.
color.
Hang on.
Roll for today.
I already did. Is white the absence of color? It's the absence of color. Black is all colors? Or
It's
black
shade.
is the absence?
No,
Black
you
is
had- you had it-
white
you
is
had
the
it right
absence.
first
So
word.
light
white
and
is the
pigment
absence?
are different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So white is the absence.
You guys
of
need to
pigment.
read weeks.
White is nice.
White is nice.
My
Okay.
uncle was his roommate in
It's
college.
the color of bones.
Not even kidding.
It's
Yeah.
I
So
agree
like
with
the
apparently
you.
I
ones
have
that
one
we'll
to
leave
talk to.
behind
Like,
when
yeah,
we're all
I'll
dead
introduce
and
you. We can
gone.
go out for
I
coffee.
think that's an excellent
So,
reminder
yeah,
to
not even
have,
kidding.
especially when you're spring and you're more of a golden retriever than a man.
Yes.
And I
well,
start to knit.
it'll
White.
probably be today after the
Yes.
barkeep poisons us because she forgot what we ordered.
I start patting my pockets for my poison vials.
It's there.
I continue knitting his hat that I had started.
I'm working on my posters because I
Yes.
have like
Oh,
2,000 of these fucking
Thank
things.
you.
Yes.
Do I see him working on his posters?
Got him out there.
They're
on
very
the table.
open.
Yes.
What does today's say?
Fight not fright.
Let's find out. Loose lips raise townships.
Raised with a Z.
Yeah,
Like
raised
bird.
with a Z,
Okay.
but it's like a picture of a mage, and you can see words coming out of his mouth.
Loose lips
It was you this whole time.
Kind of look over and go, oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I'm not paying attention to you. I'm
Cool.
still working on my stuff.
Nice. I like the
I
artistic
go
endeavors.
to the I
I'm into it.
go over to the bar. Laura Reyna.
Yes.
I know something.
Well, that's
You
a good
know.
attribute for a wizard.
You know what I know.
What?
Do not. Yes, I am.
Oh, that's a me move. I'm so proud.
Do not give him any of the good stuff from now on. Water it down.
Hit him where it hurts.
Do you think he was ever getting the good stuff? Dude, this guy has no money.
Dude, this guy has no
Water
taste
it
buds
down.
left.
Lori Reyna.
Roll an intimidation check.
That's
So-
Not my
This is
strong
Real quick, real quick.
Oh, is that cocked? No,
Jenny.
it's not.
You've been drinking with me enough to know that I've been drinking
I don't drink
vodka.
with you, man.
You've been at the bar
too.
enough with me.
You can
It's true.
smell it. It's
Like, it's
Yeah, it's nasty.
smell
it's already
like
bottom
pure
of the
fumes.
barrel.
But it's what he likes,
Straight
right?
alcoholic.
That's a 6.
He pays. And I'm sorry. I have things to do.
Lori Reyna, you're doing great.
Do I see this interaction?
Bless you.
Do I see the threatening expression on Taliyah's
Threatening.
Yes, it was very threatening.
The
with
little
this
wink,
just-
wink.
It's more like she normally smiles all the time, and this time she's like,
Exactly. Do I see her doing
There's
that?
definitely there's definitely an intense conversation going on.
Lori Reyna, you're doing awesome. I love you.
What was
She was
that all
hurried into
about,
the back room.
Lovey?
Meanwhile, I'd like to ask.
Talk to you
So, what's wrong
think
with
I'm going to be
magic?
proud
Did
of you.
something happen? Why are you on a campaign against it?
I'm not on a campaign. I'm
Well, then
merely an
what's
admirer.
this?
You're at the fucking bar.
A campaign? You literally are writing posters, Lovey. I don't know what else a campaign is.
Don't campaigns normally involve lots of dead bodies?
Not
That
necessarily.
is a
on a
military
field?
campaign. But
Yeah.
good
Have you ever
point.
lived in a democracy, Jerry?
Don't know.
My concern is what
A
what
smear
do you
campaign.
think? Like, I'm interested in this and why you are so offended by magic.
Are you, though? I feel like you're just superficially interested in me and are waiting
Did I
until
roll
I
for,
die
like-
so that you can preserve my corpse.
You're against necromancy.
Well, when necromancy is on the rise, wizardry is loose.
Is it only necromancy, or are there other things about magic that you are
It's
against?
mostly those that profane it.
Okay.
Those outside of our circle.
Like the blood magic and outside of our circle. Okay.
Is there a pure magic? Unprofaned?
The weave is pure.
Oh.
Do I
walk
about the
back
weave?
and hear
'Cause I don't
that?
know much about magic.
Roll a history check.
Yeah.
Yeah, do
I
I
don't even know
anything
what
about
that
the
word.
weave?
Yeah.
Yeah,
History?
can I as well?
Sure.
16.
16?
Ooh.
It'd be incredibly hard to
was-
make
what
shit
was-
up while
Yeah.
in winter.
Sorry.
It's history, man.
Thank you. Naruhodo. It's a non-natural 20.
Non-natural 20. Okay. Yeah, you both know the weave is a very old term for the metaphysical material that magic manipulates.
Sorry, my Ari is showing. I just get excited when I hear that word. That's all.
I mean,
Oh wait, one more time. Metaphysical material
that magic manipulates. All magic, basically.
It's the force.
It's like dark matter or the force. Sure.
Yeah.
Can't see it, but it does stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
And you can
pornography.
manipulate it.
You can't
You
see
know
it.
it when you
I
see
mean,
it.
you can see it, but you can't touch it. But
You're getting
you
on
know
me about
it when you're
cocaine.
there.
It's not
What
like
the hell?
pornography.
Yeah, I'm gonna ignore that.
So you spiral
pornography.
What does that have to do with my belief in Illyrial?
I go back to work
Same-
on
Absolutely
posters.
nothing.
Okay.
But you did hear me mention it. Because I did mention it when I was talking to you earlier. Against the better training that I had received.
Is the weave anything like this? And I hold up my knitting.
No, of course not.
No,
Are you
that's
back at the
weird.
table?
Yeah, I should have been done by this point. Intimidating Lori Reyna.
I wish you would make your slogans a little bit more specific. See, it seems like you're targeting all magic.
My slogans.
Are you not coming up with these?
I am merely the messenger, and like all messengers, am prone to illness and disease and death.
Lyra, aren't you
What color is his hair?
white?
Oh, it's white
Pure
as fuck.
white.
Snow White.
Aren't you a messenger of a higher power too, Lyra?
Indeed, I am.
Who's your higher power?
Why do I need a higher power?
To be a messenger.
I am just a messenger of the word, of the idea. Because that is the only thing that is going to outlive my burnt, charred corpse carcass in some abandoned abyss
I'm gonna get you some
on
I
the
really
side
don't
of
want to
a
agree with
cliff
him, but I kind of
next
see his
to a-
point.
He has a
ashen
bar and
fire
some
thing
water.
about
with a small
Fire.
animal with a spear over my corpse. Like, he just sits there and just goes on and
Where
on,
does
just
the
making it
small
worse and
animal
worse
come
and
from?
worse.
I'm gonna come back with a glass of water and just pat. Like, okay.
Taliyah forgets that she's mad at him for a minute.
She's like, he makes
It's
good
really
points.
It's so
pitiful.
pathetic and sad, and she starts to be sad, and then
White
she's like,
hat?
"Wait, no, I'm
White's
mad
your
at you."
favorite bones?
Yes, because bones are all that'll be left.
You know, I
As
think
the
I'm going
rats
to
eat
ask
all
him
of the
every time
flesh
I
from my
see him.
bones.
I'm going to ask
Make it a
him.
rainbow.
That's what I was thinking. Or I would ask him when I see him different every time. I think they all have different favorite colors, and I'll do stripes in all the
Good
different
plan.
colors.
Good plan. Yeah.
So it'll be so him. Don't you think?
I'm just imagining some, monstrous elf in full plate mail wielding this massive
with
sword.
a Jane hat.
With just a Jane hat.
That's exactly what I'm making with the ear
Jesus
flaps.
Yes. Gonna be so lit. Winter outfits are the best. When characters switch to winter outfits, it's an A+.
Just starts trailing on about the rats gnawing his carcass and goes back to working on his posters.
Can I tell if these posters have had any major impact on the city? As I've been going about my daily.
You don't need to roll for that. Yeah. Oh yeah. There are groups of people who huddle together and discuss what we need to do about those magic users.
Can I tell if it's more about blood magic users or just any
Just magic in
He's
general.
very general.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no specificity.
Maybe we should make flyers.
Yes.
I-
make flyers.
Because
I'm really a good scribe, too.
because this is
that
not
is your-
paper that you're using, it is vellum. You also notice that actually,
Are they eating them?
yeah, the signs are actually disappearing fairly quickly.
Nom.
Yeah,
Gotta eat that.
people are boiling and eating them.
I am
That's so
supplying
sad.
my fellow man. Come at me, bruh.
You know,
Okay.
Different season.
Maybe we should combine.
I told you
Tactics.
posters, but I had no idea. No, I'm a better scribe.
if they're eating his message, I think that's more
But
effective.
even paper, people don't have fuel. I mean, everything's going to be either burned or eaten,
That's
right?
true, but belly and warmth. I think belly wins.
I think the only solution is graffiti. You can't eat it.
we can have both. I
Your
mean-
magical spray paint
Remind
from
me
Fantasy
what
Costco.
our tenants are as Happy Squad.
It's very loose.
Write it on a wall. They
It's
can't
taking
eat
that
the
stuff
wall.
Cormyr, would you be interested in including in your message about hope and the divine Illyria, who is not necromancy or involved in blood magic?
Does she mess
He
with
does.
the
Yeah, you
weed?
told me last time that it was about blood
Yeah,
magic, so
okay,
I'm a
okay.
little
So
skeptical.
blood is sacred, but
So-
it's not part of the magic itself.
The
There's a
weave
difference.
Does religious magic have anything to do with the weave?
has nothing to do with arcane magic, for certain. But-
no, but it's not dark.
it's-
It's not harmful.
Does all magic,
Scribble,
Cormyr?
scribble,
Does
scribble.
does all magic come from the weave that you know of? Well, I'm wondering what his opinion
Scribble,
is.
scribble,
I'll ask
scribble.
Yeah. What was your take on all this?
Well, it's interesting that you choose to use the weave as a method. I had that beaten out of me.
You say things like that and make me worry for you.
He's gone. I can say what I want now.
Well, that's a relief.
Right?
Kicks in the front door. Firebolts!
You should have been prepared.
Josh,
No,
what would I have
die.
learned from Bard College about magic? Like, where did they kind of consider their magic from, and where does it fall?
You function pretty much the same way as wizards.
That's what I thought. Okay.
You just access it differently. They're math nerds, and you're orchestra kids.
Hell yeah.
So what's a cleric?
Yeah, I was gonna say what.
The religious kid.
The cleric is sleeping with the teacher.
No, that's
the
the
bard.
warlock.
I was supposed to say
Oh,
that's
that's
The
so
warlock
hard.
is the one that
Sugar
sleeps with the
daddy.
teacher.
I wrote up a description just characterizing them all as like, kids in
Yeah.
a class.
Yeah.
I forget who the cleric was.
So would I have learned about magic in the same way about the
I think
weave?
the cleric is the one. Like their parent is the teacher.
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
So would I have learned about magic in the sense of the weave, or would I have learned about magic?
No, the weave
just like-
is an archaic notion.
Right.
Yeah.
So where would I have learned about how our magic manifests itself? Like, where does it come from?
From knowledge.
It comes
Dad.
from the music that you play.
Oh, all right.
It comes from your will.
But it seems to me we have, and honestly, magic has not been a massive part of my life, except when it's come and singed me where the sun doesn't shine. But we have 3 different sources of power, it seems to me. She uses a goddess, you use your mind.
Yeah.
You use that. But does it all come from the same thing?
No idea.
different.
Do any of us know? You'd think
So
that
magic-
great minds would be
Magic
wondering
is
about this.
the compilation of centuries of learning and of intellect and of
But that's
research and
your
study
magic,
and
of course. But it
science.
Most of which is gone.
To me,
Yeah, sure.
that
You might get some pretty good answers to these questions, if all of the best and brightest and most powerful wizards in the world didn't blow themselves up
Yeah.
No.
600 years ago.
I mean, my teacher was from out of town and came in to teach for a little while, and all I know is the way that she taught about magic was that it was something from where she came, and I'm just kind of eking off of that. So
where she
But
came
yours
from. That's
also
right.
comes from
All the while,
From knowledge.
Cormyr is rating anti-magic
Yeah.
posters.
I know.
I don't really know. She
So,
just had a different kind
Cormyr-
of magic than other people did, and so I really wanted to teach. I really wanted her to teach me. Because
Cormyr.
hers just felt different.
I go and I sit down next to Cormyr, and I put my elbow on his stack of paper.
Which stack of paper?
The one that the blank stack.
Rip.
Cormyr, seriously, I want to talk to you,
I can't
please.
read it.
I'm
We're
sorry.
discussing magic that you
I
don't
was
like.
angry earlier, and perhaps I was hasty, because I have been intrigued by this thought of this mythic sort of magic. Tell me about the weave. What does it mean to you? What is it to you? What does it mean?
It is... This is the wrong season for this. Trying to think about how I can incorporate winter into this explanation.
Magic kills people.
And it's
We already got that.
No, that's actually not far off.
Heck yeah.
Unchaperoned, unguarded manipulations of the weave leave us lesser. Leave charred corpses behind. Risen dead. The unfed.
That's fair
But
enough.
certainly if one is practiced and successful in manipulating...
Where's your master?
He left. It's fine.
Is it fine?
And how does he treat you? How does he treat his magic?
I look around a little bit.
And scribble, scribble, scribble.
No, I didn't move my elbow.
Oh no, I
just
jerked them bitches
eyes.
out.
My master is an asshole.
Ooh.
Do I wait for the bolt from heaven to strike me down?
You said it. I think we'd all suspected it. I don't think you'd said it yet.
No
darling.
bolts are forthcoming.
I thought
Okay.
you said he was gone.
What was your teacher like? What was your teacher like?
He lied to me and manipulated me,
That sounds like a terrible teacher.
and I don't remember some of it. In fact,
Yeah,
a
there's
lot of
something
it.
really wrong with your teacher then, dear
But-
lords.
I can do better, I think, and it's important. You need to understand, Cormyr, that magic, if utilized correctly, at least from what my rudimentary studies of it have shown, could actually solve a lot of our problems.
Tell me, what do you aspire to use with your manipulations?
Okay, Cormyr, let me
I
tell
can
you.
help you succeed in battle. I can...
You can help me murder.
No,
You can
No,
help me leave
I can help
corpses
you
behind.
defend yourself and save.
What about what
yeah.
Lyra does?
I
Yes.
was going to say, Illyrial is all about preserving life. It's only healing magic. It values life above all else.
Didn't you use
Are you committing yourself to only using healing?
Yeah, I was about to say,
magic?
didn't you use the...
Sacred flame.
So that's the one.
Lame.
Pretty sure you've used that
Well, that act in itself preserves life.
by
Preserves
ending
our
life.
Yeah.
Yes.
There,
Well,
look, the
when-
world is not so simple as...
Who are you to
Kill-
judge others?
That's a fair point.
Why are you to be the watcher and not the watched?
But would you not agree that preserving the most life is better than allowing those few evil to live and destroy?
I believe that the weave is sacred, and that you profane it by your touch. Your unchaperoned touch.
Do you use magic at all? Do
No.
you use this weave?
No.
Would you want it to be used at all? What use is it if it's not?
It is there for the benefit of all. But you are weak. Your touch profanes it.
Well, how do we get stronger in that? We have to have
You
experience.
don't need to get stronger. You need to have people that watch you.
Who would watch? Who is worthy to judge in your eyes?
I can end one life. You can end dozens.
And preserve much
And
more
you can
than that.
end innocent lives that
Yes.
meant you no harm, and I have watched you do it.
You have not. I haven't killed anyone innocent in front of you.
You killed that goblin
front of you.
I did not.
I did that.
No, he killed the other one.
I'm gonna-
I did not.
Nobody,
He kept poking it until it died.
nobody would consider a goblin an innocent life.
And I didn't. I tried
Taliyah
to
does.
by like body slamming her on top of it, but I didn't kill
But-
either one of them.
But Leo would understand that basically nobody thinks that.
Well, in any case, I think we should follow the idea of flyers that people can eat.
I'm gonna I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna kind of.
It's a
Why don't we
all
just
way
give
to
to
get
them?
Sprinkle a little sugar.
Your message comes with food. It's-
Read this message of hope, then eat the
Eat after.
eat after reading.
Lara is extremely jealous that she didn't think of this, and she's going to pursue it.
While they're all arguing, I'm just gonna go and sit up on the stage, which is pretty much empty at this point, I assume, and I'm just going to sit there and play music and think maybe I can make this stop. And I really could, but I'm not gonna because they'd be really mad. And I'm just gonna,
guys, it's okay.
I think about because I've reached the point where I can charm people who listen to my music enough, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna sit and play and go, okay, and I'm going to like not pray, but like silently be like, oh God, Celia, please, please, this is getting ridiculous, and just keep on.
Scribble, scribble.
Cormyr, dearie.
Scribble, scribble.
And within all your hearing, would you watch us?
Wow. The first thing that came to mind was this one is not qualified. Oh, God.
Yeah,
my
this one.
bestie.
That character is not dead.
He's not dead.
This one is not
This
dead.
one is alive somewhere in the world. Blood for the blood god.
I will defend you as best I can.
Not defend, watch, like you said. I'm the only other non-magic user here. It doesn't make me nervous as it does to you, but again, within your hearing, it seems to me like we all need a little guidance.
Are you not nervous that some
Watching.
urchin will walk in off the street and charm one of your people
Oh, it's been done.
and then walk out?
Simply a matter of practicality.
Only if you can
recognition.
remember him afterwards.
True enough.
You
But-
admit that your magic has its fallibility.
I do
That
not
it must
practice
be
the same
chaperoned.
magic as my master.
But surely even your magic that you do practice has its fallibility.
Of course
Everything
it does.
does. All skills have their
And
dark
I
side.
I am not opposed to a watch or checks and balances. It is only fair.
Scribble, 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 scribble.
However, I would also ask that
Scribble, scribble,
We watch him.
we watch him
You
and
watch him. I watch you.
Checks and balances.
and his actions as of right now do place a rather large target on my back.
Well, it seems to me like most mages in the city
cramping.
rather keep it on the
Scribble.
more subtle side.
The only mage I know of in
Drink
the
and be merry, for
city
tomorrow
left.
we die.
Again,
Scribble, scribble,
is he perhaps wiser than you thought?
Probably.
Notice he only left when this one started his campaign. Perhaps it became too hot to hold him, so to speak.
Well, at least he left instead of incinerating him into a pile of ash, which I know he's capable of.
Certainly. Where did he go?
He went to Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Yes.
How on
That
earth
crap hole?
is he getting there?
Just working into the song.
Hey there.
He
It sucks.
he didn't.
Yes, it does.
He didn't
Our
tell
fried
me.
corpses are still there, guys.
They weren't fried. They were pulverized.
Our beheaded corpses are still there, guys.
Cast his pinky toe. Rolling over.
He didn't tell me how. Did you read my diary?
I did.
Then you know about the boy.
I do, but you haven't told me yet.
Just fake your way through the conversation.
Yeah, just
Right.
pretend you know, pretend. Exactly.
I know everything.
You cracked it then.
Little help from my granddaughter.
I'll have to make my next code stronger.
She's a clever girl.
And then I
you
shake
know.
my head a little bit because I realize how awful that sounded.
Well, we were rather dim-witted about it, to be perfectly honest, but she's a
Yeah, here she was.
Vera, something is bothering you. You can't really identify it.
I was about to say.
No.
My passive perception is 16 is just like bing, bing.
No save. There's
Alarming.
just something off
Can I
about the situation.
scan the
About
room
the
real fast?
atmosphere,
For what?
People watching
journal?
us.
Okay.
To say from the journal, from the atmosphere.
Roll a persuasion.
Natural
Or a
20.
perception check.
Oh. Oh.
With disadvantage.
No. Not today.
The feeling has been creeping up on you over the course of the conversation, and you look around and you realize you can hear dice. Nobody's playing dice in here.
You're on a table. There are people around you who are giants.
It's not constantly. It's just every once in a while.
Can I zero in on location? Is it coming from behind me, side, left, right?
Every once in a while you just hear.
From where?
She rolled a natural 20.
You can't tell.
Back, sides?
You're looking around. There is no
In my head?
origin of this dice.
Ladies and gentlemen, does anybody hear dice? Someone playing dice?
Does anyone hear dice yet?
Roll a perception check.
All I hear is scratch.
I don't like it.
12.
12.
Oh, natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. You hear no dice.
Nothing.
Only Vera hears it, even with her natural 20?
You do not hear dice.
I can't hear any. What's going on? No. We've been discussing magical things, and it's making me nervous. Has anybody heard of, I don't know, hallucinatory effects like this? Observation spells?
Yes.
Illusions? Heck yeah.
You're probably gonna go mad.
That's
and then try and
everything
kill
I
all
do.
of us.
Oh, I'm already that.
Oh, fantastic.
Mad as a hatter.
Can I try to see if there's anything physically wrong with her?
Sure. Roll a medicine check.
I'll throw up a detect magic in the
Please
room.
do.
Sure. You don't see.
Do I get the creepy feeling?
I'm being slidey about it too, by the way.
on the table.
I'm being subtle about it, maybe?
There we go. That's
Slidey.
it. Water.
Other than what magical items you guys have on your person, you've got a few.
I've got the 12.
I have
Quill.
sword.
I have a thermos.
That's right. Okay.
Thing.
I knew you had something.
And I don't know if my
And
loot
a
is
plus
technically
6
magical
great
now.
axe.
I
Don't
don't
I
forget that.
forgot about that.
Because I have plus 2 to performance on my loot, does that technically make my loot magical?
No.
Okay, it's just because it's pretty.
No, it's because
It's pretty.
bard,
Okay.
shiny.
I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't like a, this is now
Robber in the
magical and I should know
alleyway.
that. Yeah. That's why
Am I getting that
take those and I
creepy
shoot
feeling,
lightning at
like
people.
being watched feeling, and I'd be very familiar with?
No, something just doesn't quite feel right.
But nothing else pings besides what my party is carrying.
Nope. Medicine check?
12.
12. Doesn't appear to be anything wrong with her.
Something's wrong.
Some bruises and cuts that are just haven't quite faded from y'all's misadventure to the third
Something's wrong.
watchtower.
I've been around a very long time, and I hear dice, and something is wrong.
Should we go outside then?
Be on your guard.
I just take Vera's chin in my hand.
You go like this. This does not mean chin.
No, it's like
I
a
wave
mom
at
with a little kid, right? And push
Check
it
her
up
for fever.
to look into her eyes. Anything strange?
Roll a
Weird.
perception check as you gaze into her eyes.
It's going more for investigation, but whatever. It sucks. 4. Sure.
4?
Yeah.
They're her eyes.
Who's ever rolling? I hope you're rolling well.
Perhaps it's fate.
No, they're rolling poorly.
I hope so.
I'm rolling.
Perhaps
poorly.
fate is rolling her dice.
Start doing this with my head to try and get a lock on it.
Nope.
That's like impossible. Is it coming from inside my head?
How would you tell that it's coming from inside your head?
Because you can tell which ear is registering
You
it.
hear dice.
So my mom's an audiologist, so I'm like, you can always tell which ear.
You cannot.
Which hair cells are being
Ceiling, maybe?
are being turned
Something
on
from the
and which
ceiling or down below?
cochlea.
Are you looking at the ceiling?
Sure.
Yeah.
Be kind of weird to say, try looking at the ceiling. I'm not going to. Maybe you could.
Sure, I'll look at the ceiling and look down to the ground, see if there's anything weird.
Who else is
No?
in the room?
Look under the table.
Who
Yeah,
else
is
in the
Lori
snowdrop?
Reyna here?
It's not crowded, but there are certainly other people in here.
Is Lori Reyna around?
No, she's still in the back.
Seriously, we ordered like 5 hours
Oh,
ago.
no, you guys all have your drinks.
You went to go intimidate
But,
her.
yeah, then you tried to
That's true.
intimidate her, and she's in the
so
back
it's
crying.
Probably opening up that
I get
really
up,
nice
someone
and
should
start
go check
walking
on Lori
through the
Reyna.
tables.
looking for somebody rolling
I
dice.
nominate
Okay.
Lyra. You should go check on Lori Reyna. I don't think she's wanting to talk to me right now.
Sure.
I kind of
I'll
feel
go
that
in
I
and
would
I'm
go
just like
Okay.
suspiciously.
Wandering through the tables.
Yes.
You're gonna go check on Lori Reyna?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand there and feel like a horrible person because I was mean to Lori Reyna.
Okay. Almanya?
Don't mind me, lovies. Walking by the table.
Yeah, I'm just going, since I'm now on the stage, I'm just going to stand up on the stage and, like, continue playing, but a little bit louder, see if I can get people's attention, just so I can, like, kind of get everybody's eyes.
Okay.
And just
drop
start.
my spectacles,
just go
don't
for
mind
it.
me.
Okay.
I'm working on a poster that says, "He's watching you." And it's a mage over a scrying bowl looking at you.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Scroll.
Actually, while Cormyr is very much engaged,
I will fucking murder. I mean, what?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take a little
Of his hair?
Okay.
A little.
Sure, roll
I don't
sleight
know
of
what a
hand.
little.
How is she gonna sleight of hand stabbing me in the head?
natural 20.
Now, you were joking
There it is,
about
baby.
murdering her, but a mage is trying to take your hair.
Oh no!
No, it's a natural 20,
Okay.
which
On
brings
subtlety.
me to a total of 22.
Yeah, no. You've got a lock of hair.
Sweet. I took it away my component note.
Okay.
That's
Awesome.
horrifying.
You have a lock of
That's
Cormyr's
one.
hair in your pouch.
That's one.
Oh yeah.
See, the non-magic users here are just like,
Vera,
that's freaking horrifying.
It's weird for me, too. I'm
roll-
just playing my lute.
roll another perception check.
Oh lord. Perceive just plain old. Why do I have my stupid? Never mind.
I don't need to look at my character sheet. I've rolled all natural 20s tonight. 22?
Yes.
Okay. You hear you still occasionally hear the dice. It's not constant. But if you sat down and you listened to a game of dice, it's about that frequency.
Even with the music? Can she
Sound-
still hear it as clearly? Even
Yeah.
with the music
Sound like
playing?
people are taking turns?
That much you can't really tell.
I'm gonna look down at her while I'm playing loudly. Can you still hear it now?
Yes. In fact, that's a good idea. Come right up here and you play it right
People
here.
in the front row are like, that didn't rhyme.
I'm totally working it to a song.
I go right up to her and
You can like dance a little bit on stage while I am like
It's
jamming
Do I still hear the
loudly.
dice just as clearly?
I think all you need to do is just be like, "And Worcestershire is a shithole." And how? Problem solved.
And how?
So while she's doing that, she calls across the room. Can you hear this now?
Can you hear me now?
Let's say, can you hear me now?
You do hear metal on metal from just outside the inn.
Everybody, arm up right now.
Huh?
Right now.
Before you say that, Lyra, you walk into the back room
Oh no, Lord.
just in time to hear Lori Reyna scream.
Oh
Okay,
no,
I
not
book
Lord
it
right
for
now.
Everybody
I
arm up
need-
right now.
Everybody to roll initiative.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Where were these rolls when I was Laura Base and I could actually
You have advantage. Hi, Josh. What's up, buddy?
Hi.
Wait. No, I don't. Why do I?
Oh, I do!
You do
have
advantage.
this.
Oh, you can re-roll
Why do you have
once.
advantage on half? What? Is that
I
just your
re-roll
natural one
natural
thing?
ones,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, that's fine.
Nice girl.
And it was much better. Thank
Well,
you
I
very
was
much, good
totally
sir.
making that shit up, but I'm
I
glad
do,
for you.
though.
Okay.
Helping me rogue. Helping
It's a
me
barbarian
halfling.
rogue.
25 to 20.
21.
With my...
Wait, how does it go?
20 to 15.
He hasn't said my number.
17.
I'll 19. Sorry,
What's your dex mod?
0.
0? Okay.
I had a 19. Damn.
19 for Taliyah. There you go. Cormyr. 15 to 10?
13.
13.
Oh.
10.
Sorry, DM. I think it's a new day and I have not rolled divination rolls. May I do that?
Yeah, go for it. Almanya and Lyra. Is there anybody else here?
Both
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
14.
Good. I wonder if he has advantage. Please say he has advantage.
Dirty face. Die. I don't know who it is. He's gonna die.
Someone gonna die.
Hopefully we can kill Fear soon.
for sure.
No, he's in West Ashore.
Or
He's dead
alternatively,
We going
we
for
can
him.
talk our way out of this.
What? What is this nonsense of which you speak?
Okay.
already. I'm good at talking, actually.
Me too.
Honey.
I'm okay.
I have a +7 to persuasion.
I'm just not good at intimidating people.
I'm actually okay.
So,
You and your jack of all trades.
Vera,
Yep.
you are trying to locate the sound of the dice, and you've got your eyes closed. You're trying to hear it. You hear Almanya call across the bar, playing harder. Can you still hear it? Beneath all of that, you hear the clash of metal outside the Snowdrop Inn.
Where am I in the room?
You're fairly close to the door.
I'm close to the door. Dang it.
Yeah.
Am I close to the wall or another table?
Yeah, there are tables all throughout here.
Okay.
So
I'm going to action ready my crossbow and aim for anything I consider threatening. And I'm going to bonus action hide.
So, oops, that's not the tap room. There it is. So, bonus action, hide from what?
Hide from the door, whatever's
Okay.
coming through that door, and then ready crossbow. I will hit anything that starts to attack, seems threatening.
Okay.
Yes.
As you kind of dive behind cover, a bunch of the patrons who are in nearby tables kind of see you dive behind cover, and they're just, what the hell?
I roll into a Spider-Man crouch.
So you're basically underneath a table with your crossbow bolt. Your crossbow ready.
Should I roll for stealth?
Yes, go ahead and roll for stealth.
Okay.
And who walks into the
16.
16.
Mage, I think he dies of bludgeoning damage.
As you do that, you hear a scream from the back room. Taliyah,
Yes.
you've just kind of snipped some hair from the back of Cormyr, kind of wound it up, stuck it
Some
into your
really weird
pouch,
voodoo crap right here.
and you're about to kind of carefully sit down so he doesn't notice you moved, when suddenly you just hear this piercing scream from behind the bar, and you jump, right? You're doing something clandestine, and you hear a loud noise, and you just go, "Ah, okay."
What was that? And I look around, do I see anything?
You see a busy bar that's all now silent and kind of looking. Some of them are looking at you because you just spoke, and most of them are looking at the door to the.
Where did this scream come from?
From the room behind the bar.
Okay, I'm gonna head that direction.
Okay.
I don't know how far it is. Like, do I have to use my action to dash to get there?
You could.
Because immediately
You're about 15 feet from the bar.
The guilt kicks in, and I immediately think, "Oh, poor Lori Reyna."
Okay. Yeah, you can get right to the doorway
Okay.
to the back room, and
Do I see anything?
as you throw it open, Lori Reyna is standing there, and it looks like there's some kind of back door. It's just a small one. It is open. Cold air is blowing in. Lori Reyna is staring at the door. And you look in the doorway, and there's nothing there, and you look down, and there's a small gnome-sized... It basically looks like a gnome, but with this fuzzy, unkempt beard and this wild, dirty, crazy hair, holding a spear. He is gleefully exposing himself and urinating all over the floor. Just winter clothing just thrown open, just...
So, when you say spear, are we talking weapon or something else?
Actual weapon.
Oh, okay.
I do need you. As you walk in, he catches your eye and just looks at you with disgust.
He's just so grumpy.
And I need you.
God.
And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Is this a charm effect?
No.
It's not?
No, this is a curse effect.
A wisdom saving. And
He's just going to kill us with the incidental
I should
shit.
have said that before
Yep.
I rolled, and I didn't, so I'll take it.
What were you going to say?
I could have succeeded, but you have to do it before the roll. You have to declare before the roll, and I rolled.
Oh, you were
going
going
to
use divination?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
But I
Okay.
rolled before I thought of it.
What'd you roll?
I have rolled a 12.
Okay.
I thought you could interpose divination after you rolled before you know the result.
No, it specifically says in the ability, because they don't want divination wizards to have too much power. Fuck you, Jeremy Crawford. That you have to use the divination roll before you make the roll. Sorry.
So what you're saying is
Jeremy
that
Crawford,
wizards
if you're watching,
are
I love you.
artificially limited because they're too powerful.
In their little
You can
squishy
talk
selves.
to Jeremy Crawford.
Can you give that to Jenny?
Fold it open. Fold it open. Look at it. Hold it up to the light.
I was going to say. I am the rogue. I can look at anything I want here. Oh,
Read
no.
her mail. Read her
Oh,
mail.
no.
So you have used your movement.
That was Jenny, not Taliyah.
Yeah, you've used your movement, and you've gotten there. Actually, I need to roll a save for Lori Reyna as well. Okay.
It's the weighing of petrification.
What is your problem, you stupid girl? Shut up. Haven't you ever seen anything like that before?
Damn.
She turns and looks at you and just you can see she has
Dude,
been crying a little
oh,
bit, and now
no,
the tears just start
You
again.
monster!
Do I know myself enough to go, this is not right? Oh, fuck.
Yes.
It's all coming true.
Do it for the blood god.
And then I will
repercussions
look
from
at
this.
him, and so, let me check here.
Gleefully run
It
to
says
embrace him.
nothing about who I have to have that
No.
towards.
Nope.
And I'll just kick him. Out the door.
You were not close enough to kick him.
Oh, I used all my movement?
You got to the doorway, and you can see, he's right over there, Lori Reyna's right there, but you're not within striking distance of him. You could use your action to get within striking
Am I
distance.
within distance of Lori Reyna? Like, how is she, arm's length away from me or closer?
There's basically a triangle of about 10 feet to the thing, 10 feet to
Okay.
Lori Reyna.
The thing.
Sigh.
If I get closer, he'll just pee on me.
It's the risk.
I still have my action. Okay, I'll just
Alright, I need a decision.
Ray of Frost his member.
Jesus.
Called shot? Roll an attack.
Dear
It doesn't
God.
matter. I'm gonna hit.
What'd you roll?
No, I'm gonna use my 14 plus 5. It is 19.
19?
With called shot.
It's just
Depends
disadvantage
on
on the
how
roll.
big.
It's gnomes.
Whoops, I was looking at the wrong
I gave
thing.
it bonus AC.
Yep, bonus AC, that will still hit.
Okay.
His wing shrivels up.
Roll damage?
Wow, this is fucked up.
Why is
Jeez, I am officially
gave me
lodging
the
a protest.
paper.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 6.
A 6? Okay.
He's the one who gave me the paper. This is on him.
Just shatters.
Didn't say you were evil. Okay. You hit him right in the crotch with
that's
a ray
pretty-
with a ray of frost. He
I didn't want to
immediately-
move closer because he'd pee on me.
He immediately stops peeing and being gleeful, and is just down on the ground, still moving, but clearly not doing
prone?
well. But prone.
But just for clarification, I am not under my own will at this point, right? I have
No, you
this,
are.
but I'm
Aside
not
from
myself. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's as ill-mannered as I can think of.
Okay.
Scream at the girl.
I was thinking more the first thing than, but whatever. Okay. Cormyr, your turn. You are diligently making your posters. Dimly
Scream.
out of the corner of your eye, you notice Vera kind of dive, but that doesn't really matter. And then there's a scream from almost directly behind you at the bar.
Start shuffling my hoovers together and tucking them in my rucksack.
We'll call
Just
that a
gonna-
bonus action.
Looking around. I'm not doing anything with it. I'll ready an attack for any hostiles that get in melee
Okay.
range, but I'm not doing anything.
Okay. Almanya?
I have no idea what's going on.
You hear a piercing scream coming from the room behind the bar.
Okay, I'll probably run over. I'm gonna keep playing, but I'm gonna run over.
And then the bar heroically ran to help.
Good dear Sir Robin.
Okay.
Well, it's important for some things that I keep playing, so I'm going to keep playing as I kind of run back to see what the heck is going on.
Okay, you run back there.
Okay.
In time to see Taliyah is standing in the doorway with her hands outstretched, kind of cold, frost wisping off the top of her fingertips. Door is open, it's freezing in here, and there's some kind of furry, hairy, dirty lump of
pain,
dirty,
agony.
dirty clothing just kind of writhing on the floor in the open doorway with a fallen spear on the ground next to it.
What is going on, dear?
Bang.
Yeah. Still like strumming quietly. What the fuck, guys?
Guys?
Yeah,
Ladies?
Raina and her and this dude. I don't know. Guys is gender neutral in my mind, okay?
So it would have taken, I'm sorry, I should have told you this before. It would have taken your action to dash to get from the stage to the doorway.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
So you stand in the doorway, pluck your lyre, and yell that.
My loot, but yes.
You have to.
Lyra's turn.
Okay.
Scream from behind the bar.
Okay, I'm gonna book it to the bar.
Okay.
To the room.
Action gets you just in the doorway, which is now super crowded with Taliyah and Dragonborn playing an instrument. You're trying to look in and get a...
Can I make it to the room at all? Like, what I want to do...
You're right at the doorway.
Oh.
You could use your action to get into the room.
I'll do that.
Okay.
And kind of try to get the attention of the woman who screamed and be like, come here, it's going to be okay. We're going to take care of this.
Okay. You're going to kind of take her out of the room?
Yeah.
Okay. You push your way through your friends. You take...
I curse at her a little as she pushes past me.
Have we ever heard you swear?
It's really weird. As you push back past Taliyah, she goes, "You bitch!" and you're taken aback for a second. You've never heard this kind of vitriol from Taliyah. But you get Lori Raina, and she's just kind of crying, and you pull her out of the
my
room.
best to comfort.
Okay. It's the creature's turn.
He's screaming and holding his crotch.
Yeah. Half its movement to stand up.
I'm like, oh god.
Actually, no.
I did knock him prone.
Suddenly, all of the clothing...
Fell.
Oh.
All of the clothing just kind of depresses, as if there's nothing there.
Oh.
You two, what are your
clearly a
passive
Jedi.
perceptions?
12.
He took a pretty critical
You see
To a very
something
critical area.
very small just kind of wriggle its way out of the pile of clothing, and just this tiny little naked thing just goes like running off into the cold, just like clutching.
Snowbanks?
at
Like,
its-
is
at
he
its
reached
crotch.
the snowbanks?
I mean, so right outside the door, the snow has been cleared somewhat, but you manage to but you see him kind of running off. He doesn't get very far, but okay.
Wait, is he like a big?
Yeah, it's probably about this big.
A big.
Above the screen, because we can't
Sorry.
see where you are. Okay.
Probably about that big.
So I could squish him.
Size of Hellwood.
Pretty much.
Or kidnap
okay.
him very easily.
He's a
From a
leprechaun.
bag.
Back and
My
tag him.
gold. Shake, 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 shake.
Back and tag him.
Vera. There was a scream from behind the bar. Whatever that sound coming from out front is, it is not getting closer to the doorway, and it ends.
I'm going to
So,
jump out of my
do you want to go for the door or for the back room?
door.
Okay. You hear the dice roll, come to a stop. They don't roll again.
Through the door open.
Throw the door open.
With my
Standing in the street. I'm sorry.
Are more naked men.
You see,
Tiny naked.
you see a full squad of 4 City Watch,
That ain't right.
all scattered on the ground. 2 of them are mostly dismembered.
Oh god.
There is blood all over the cobblestone and the snow.
All making fun of the tiny wee man.
You see 2 ghouls hunched over them, just like reaching down, ripping and stuffing flesh into their mouths. Standing in the middle of all of this, you see a ghoul unlike any you have ever seen before. You've never seen a ghoul wear armor. But there is a ghoul standing there with full, heavy, thick plate and a massive two-handed sword just slung on a shoulder. Blood all up and down the arms and the sword. And standing next to him, facing away from you, is just an ordinary-looking commoner.
Fucking mages.
Who's standing there wearing just common clothing, speaking to the ghoul wearing full armor. And it's not nice plate. It's fairly cobbled together, but it is heavy and looks effective. And says, what languages do you speak?
Halfling and Thievescan.
Just two?
Halfling and Thievescan.
Okay.
You don't speak common?
This
How the
whole
fuck have we been
time.
communicating?
All with my eyebrows.
No, seriously, do you not speak common?
Common. Yeah. I was saying additional language. Everybody speaks common, you people.
No, they don't.
No, goblins don't speak common. We
So-
learned that.
hard way.
Common and half.
The commoner kind of smacks a hand on the plate and says something in a guttural language that you do not understand, and turns and starts to walk away when he catches sight of you.
How much of a movement did I use getting to the door?
I'd say about 10 feet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I am... Can I both shoot him and yell something at the same time?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to shoot the commoner.
So you're shooting at the commoner. Okay.
And I'm going to yell, ghouls in the front, move! And I'm going to turn and take a... Because I can do this now. Because
Uh-oh.
Hell yeah.
and take a running jump and try and like get as far into the room and high as I can.
Into the inn?
Into the inn.
Oh, okay.
Jumping back into the inn, like
Oh,
up
gotcha.
onto a table or something.
So you open the door, see this, and go,
I
ah!
shoot, but at the unarmored man.
Okay, so you're shooting at the unarmored guy. Go ahead and roll an attack roll.
Do it.
Sucks. 9.
9? Okay. It goes past the commoner and just skims off the armor of the heavily armored ghoul. And the two lesser ghouls that are kind of stuffing their face kind of look up, stuff just dripping down.
I'm gone already.
Yep. So you're 15 feet back into the bar.
And up high.
Oh, you used your bonus action to
Essentially
dash.
dash
Okay,
away. Yes.
got it. So you're
Not
as far
hiding,
you're as
dashing.
far away as you can.
Yes.
Okay. So that puts you.
And like on a table.
Where's the door? There we go.
So I'm allowed to do a running jump, which means I can run and hop up to my dex mod and feet.
So you can basically get to the table that you guys were all at, and you're kind of standing on top of it. So you're standing there. You've shuffled all of your papers. You've got your warhammer ready. Vera, you watch her go out the door and yell and come back in and leap up onto the table and spin back towards the door.
He did hear what I
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Ghouls in the front, move.
Yep, ghouls in the front. People in the inn start screaming.
Good.
Taliyah, fire! You're up.
Do I get to make a save or anything at any point? No?
Good luck. What you gonna do? It's not debilitating.
Okay, sure.
You just have to be shitty while you do things.
Okay, sure.
What a curse.
Fuck y'all for
I guess that
being
could be
weak.
considered
Kill this monster.
debilitating.
It's really, really hard for a good character. Okay.
Run over and stomp on the little man.
Did the little person ran away?
Yeah.
Okay. But I
Well,
heard...
is running away.
Okay, but I heard...
It's just this like little naked guy.
yeah, a little naked guy. What's he
running
gonna
through the
do?
street.
But I heard, besides make stupid girls cry, but I heard Vera...
Yeah, you would have heard,
Okay.
yeah, ghouls at the front, because everybody
So-
else is quiet at the moment.
I'll turn around and look. I'm in the doorway, right?
Yeah, you can peek out and you see Vera is sprinting away from the door, and the door has swung, and it's closing.
Where?
I already said where.
Okay,
Yeah,
in the
she said
front.
ghouls out front.
Okay, I will use just my movement to walk as far towards Vera as I can.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Just
you get
my
there.
movement, I
Yeah,
don't
you're
wanna
basically
dash.
going back to where you were.
Okay, and then I'll just ready a firebolt and hold it.
Okay, trigger.
And I'll
What's a trigger?
if ghouls come in the door,
Okay.
sure. And I'll just yell at the screaming townspeople just to shut the fuck up.
Okay. Roll an intimidation check.
I like
I
this.
use like
I
a random
like this
bonus
side of
action
you.
to go up and be like, smack!
You used your bonus action.
Language!
It's okay. Even as a craft person, my intimidation is still only 7.
They do not appear to hear you or take notice of you.
Okay.
Although you can feel Vera's disapproval radiating as she stands on the table
It's
in front of
this
you,
face.
really.
Lyra's like,
Okay,
Just look back at you like, what?
their turn. Okay, the door breaks
Mother was
open
soaking.
and the 2 ghouls that are just covered in blood, hands all the way up to the elbows, just come rushing in. None of you is right up against the door, so they're just going to attack.
So, but
Some
first,
random
that does a
townspeople.
13 hit their armor class?
What a great question. Oh, that's in this tab here. A 13?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Awesome.
So
They
you're-
take.
Well, one of them takes.
One of them takes 8 points of fire damage.
Oh, that is nice. Good. Okay, one of them gets slammed in the shoulder, and as it tries to attack one of the townspeople, it falls to the ground and just kind of starts batting at the flames. The other one hits a townsperson.
Oh no.
And just kind of rips out his throat, stuffs it in his mouth, and starts looking around as that person just starts falling to the ground.
oh, eat it.
Cormyr,
Huh? What? Fight.
that just burst into the door.
It was probably gonna die anyways, but guess we need to go help.
Aren't we all?
So how far from the door am I?
You are about 20 feet.
Okay, I'll go over there and smack it in the face.
Okay, you run over there and you attempt to smack it in the face.
I don't smack it in the face.
What'd you roll?
3. Unless you count that as cocked.
Total?
It doesn't matter what the total is.
Yeah,
9.
Okay.
Natural AC is 10.
You run over, but the falling corpse runs into you and you can't quite get a swing off, and you shove the corpse to the ground and you're ready for your next turn. But, Almanya, you're up.
Are any of them within 10 feet of each other?
Yeah, they're both right next to each other.
Sweet. I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers, and I need them both to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Injured one. No, not injured one. This is the thing. Oh, it's almost a nat 20. Wisdom, you'll say.
Wisdom.
Yeah. 14.
Barely succeeds.
Oh, okay.
But it's still gonna take some damage.
Oh, good.
It's going to take... Okay, one of them takes 11. One of them takes 5. The one who failed takes 11. And it has to move as far away from me as possible. So,
On its turn?
no, right now.
Right now?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
cool.
has to use... Yep, it must immediately use its reaction to move as far as its speed allows away from you. It can't move into anything dangerous, like, it can't move into, like, a fire pit or something,
Okay.
but it has to get as far away from me as possible. And the other one doesn't, but it doesn't have to move, but it still takes half damage. So.
Cool, okay. Well, the super injured one now kind of picks itself up and bolts out through the door.
Nice.
So where do we come down on forced movement and reactions?
Fuck you.
Force movement does not draw attacks of opportunity.
I
Thank you,
thought we
Nick.
said that it did, but...
Nope.
Oh, wait,
it was
no, it
in
didn't.
one specific, but
Right,
there
yeah.
was one specific thing. I think it was in Dissonant Whispers, wasn't it? That said that it does provoke an
You said for Dissonant
opportunity
Whispers, it does.
attack.
We talked
One of
about
them it
this.
does.
I vaguely remember this.
Yeah.
I
Hang on, I'm going to look it
remember
up right
the
now.
conversation. That's
Doesn't
it.
matter, that one's not going to die anyway. Not from that attack, that is. Lyra, you're up.
Okay.
So you now see Commoner throat ripped out on the ground, Cormyr swinging his warhammer. There's a ghoul standing there covered in blood. Another one just burst out the door, leaving just bloody hand smears on the inside.
I know, well, we talked about it.
Well, can I tell that the villager is just like dead? I got the throat ripped out.
Yeah, no, it's you can
Okay.
you can
99% sure.
you can see the spine.
Throatless.
God, he could be alive, jeez.
Okay, I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds.
I believe that's a touch, right?
It is.
Melee spell attack.
Yeah,
Against
you gotta be
creature
in
you
contact.
can reach.
Okay,
Oh.
so you...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Run over and use your magic to harm something. I love it.
I'm saving lives. Okay.
yeah,
Saving
you can
lives.
make it. So go ahead and roll your melee attacks thing.
Yeah.
Does that count? I
No.
meant to put it
Needs to be in the
there.
tray too.
It has to
aiming
be-
for the
if
tray.
You were,
I
if
was
you
aiming
tried
for
to
the tray.
roll it in the tray.
Oh, it's much better
better.
anyways. Okay. So, 21.
21. Yeah,
Yeah.
that hits. Roll the
Okay.
damage on that.
What do you need damage-wise? Is
Inflict
it a
wounds. It
D-
says on a hit, the target takes 3d10 necrotic damage.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
What?
D10.
Please
do you
say
need
they're
D10s or do you
resistant.
have D10s?
Nope.
They're the wheelie looking ones.
No, they are not.
Oh.
So what's yours rolled for wild
These?
magic? Yes.
Okay.
You need another one?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
We did.
13, 14, 15, 16 plus... Plus anything?
No,
No,
I
I
don't
think it's
no.
just 3d10. 16 damage? Okay.
He did.
Nope.
Fine.
All right, you run up, touch it, and you watch as just half of its body just withers and shrinks and becomes desiccated. It's still kind of lurching, but it's doing really badly.
Alright, in honor of Gnome, I kind of giggle.
Yeah, I was gonna say somewhere here. Yes.
Vera, you're up.
Is Gnome your
So
patron
there's
god?
armored
Yes.
guy and the two unarmored. Two unarmored have been hit.
Yeah, only the two unarmored have come in.
Have come in.
And one
Armored
of them
guy
left.
is
You
still
don't
out.
you don't see the
Commoner
other two.
is still out.
Yeah.
So there's only one currently in the room.
Actually, there's only one still in here. Yes.
Okay. And is he in melee with my two friends currently?
Yes.
So I can shoot him and get sneak
Yeah.
attack?
Yep.
Then I'll shoot him. and
So you
get
don't
sneak
have
attack,
advantage, but you will have sneak attack if
Yeah.
you hit.
if I hit him. Which I probably don't. Because it's only a 12.
12 hits.
Girl.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
On my hand crossbow.
Actually,
D6
it
plus
dies.
sneak-
It had
sneak attack.
one hit point left.
Nice.
So you aiming
Nice.
over Cormyr's shoulder just goes straight through its skull, and it falls to the ground.
Dang.
Bonus action.
Yes.
Use movement and dash, however I can, to get to the doorway and look and see where the other ones are.
Yeah, you get to the doorway with just your movement.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is about 60 feet away, and you don't see the armored ghoul or the commoner.
Yeah, I want to see the is there snow on the ground?
Yes.
Can I do a quick, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this as a bonus action, like perception? Can I see tracks where they might have gone? Because I think the big lumbering guy in heavy armor would have left
So-
tracks.
There is snow on the ground. It is not coating the streets.
Okay.
It would be an action to look for tracks.
In the meantime, I will start to follow wounded guy.
You're
Sneakily.
now about 20 feet away from him. He was
And
60 feet. You've got
I
25 feet. 35. You're
will-
35 feet away from him.
Yes.
That was your bonus action dash, right?
No, it's her movement got her to the door.
Can I don't know if this is more action-y things, but, like, take out my rope and start to leave it like a breadcrumb where I'm going.
Oh, that's cute. I love it.
Okay.
Like, string it out behind me quick as I'm going in that direction, just so that they know I'm not gone.
Sure, you know it's only 50 feet, right?
I know.
Okay, cool.
Just string it out like
She's
Sure.
so
I'm
short
going that
that she's
direction.
worried that we'll miss her.
I'll give you that as a bonus action. Taliyah.
Nobody's
Nobody's
pointing where
left
he's
in
going.
here?
I mean, there's a
Like-
lot of panicked patrons,
I don't care about
but
that.
there are no more hostiles that you can
Weird,
see.
I don't care about that. It's weird. Okay. I'll just jump down off the table and follow Vera.
Okay.
Can I?
So
No, he put his papers in the
movement gets you to the door.
Yoink.
Movement gets you to the door, and you can see Vera is about
I
25
have
feet
35
away.
feet of movement. No,
What?
I don't. I have
Long
30 feet
legs.
of movement. Never mind.
Long
I
No.
got confused with my one-shot rogue character. Sorry.
Gotcha. Okay. So Lyra, nope. Vera's about 20 feet away from you. The 25 feet. The ghoul is about 60 feet.
60
You've got
feet?
an action and a bonus action.
Sweet. I will check a. Stupid. I'll check a firebolt at him.
Okay. Roll an
'cause
attack with
that
disadvantage.
Will make me why?
'Cause it's-
Firebolt range is 120 feet.
But it's dark out here.
just doesn't want you to get a natural 20. That's literally the only reason he's giving.
No, it's because a ranged attack in dim light is.
That's fine. They were double
disadvantage.
10s plus
Yeah.
a lot. So
Yeah. Okay.
is it 5?
Yeah. Go ahead and
Yeah.
roll damage. It's conceivable that you don't kill him, but
It's 2.
he's still running. Barely. He's been hit twice now, and he's booking it.
Bonus action. I don't have anything I could do with a bonus action.
How
His
far
turn
away are you from it, Vera?
Disappears into an alley,
Vera, how far away are you from it?
and we'll go ahead and end there.
What?
Wait, quick. I do want to be using my next action to look for tracks for the big guy.
Okay. So when we come back, you
Yeah,
guys
I
can
need to
investigate the scene.
remember
Aww. Okay.
So we'll go ahead and end there.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us in the new year.
Oh, that's right.
With It Gets Worse.
It gets worse.
So, we will be back next week. I think we'll probably have to start late because I have evals go until at
So
least
do I.
5:30. So
So do I.
probably be a little later start, little shorter session. But anyway, that'll be it.
All right.
All right.